hello. Evening, good people of the interwebs.
Good evening. How's it?
How's it, Sean? And introducing the Aristocratic Utensil, also known as Spoon. First off, I just want to say, dude, thank you so much for coming on, and it's absolutely amazing. I just want to tell the audience, I spent the last entire week just consuming Spoon's content. It is absolutely phenomenal. Gavin has dropped a link in the chat. It is, it's literally been amazing. I just can't get more. It's like I can't get enough. Sorry. So awesome having you, man. No, dude, I love it. I love it. Honestly, so rad.
Right. I don't very often get praise from my countrymen, so.
And that's also cool. Like the fact that you're South African. Fuck.
Yeah. Occasionally, because the accent tends to throw people off, so occasionally I'll tell people I'm South African, and then I get Afrikaners in the chat go, wait, you're a Boer? Like, yes. Like, oh, I thought you were like English. Like, no, I'm from Cape Town, dude. Like, holy crap, he's one of us. Like, yeah, hi.
So just for argument's sake, why do you have the beautiful, absolutely silky smooth, delicious voice? How?
I think it's because, okay, so given that I grew up in Ireland during my teen years, I had a very thick Irish accent at one point. And during my school years, I heard it on like a video recording. This was back like when you could barely do that on the phone. And I heard myself and went, oh God, that sounds really common and scummy. I must undo this immediately. And there's an English show in, obviously in England, called QI. And there's a couple of English comedians that was always on the panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of that, yeah.
Yes. A friend of mine is in the corner just messaging my screen like, yes, why the voice? Like, thanks for that, Riz. She knows why. But there was 3 people that I saw commonly on the panel. It was Bill Bailey, Stephen Fry, and Eddie Izzard. And I thought, okay, if I can combine their 3 voices, roughly speaking, what would emerge? And after watching that consistently and sort of hearing just these accents for most of the day and reading it, sort of that just began to click. I can, now that I'm in South Africa again, I can occasionally hear myself saying certain words and like, kan hoor die Afrikaans kom weer. So I like, occasionally I can hear like the Afrikaans coming through again. And I've had people tell me like, your accent sounds different. I'm like, oh, fuck. I can, my own audience can hear, it's like I'm losing what I had. I'm like, okay, I'm influenced by other people. I need to start binge watching QI again so I can just get the old accent back that I've had forgotten so many years.
The only time I think I recognized it was when you actually say Afrikaner. You say it properly, right? You say it like someone is Afrikaans. Yeah, exactly, 100%. And I was going like this, wait, you're Afrikaans, 100%. But then like the connection, dude, amazing. And sorry.
So I did that for several years on end. I think I also drove a bunch of people insane because people just think that accent isn't real. I'm like, yeah, I agree. It's not real. It is manufactured, but it works. And many people, for some bizarre reason, think I'm English. The only people who don't are English people. English people will go like, that's not our accent. That's foreign.
Because they don't
know where, but it's not English. Yeah. And the Irish people think I sound English, which makes no sense.
Really?
Despite the fact that I live there. Yeah. It's very strange. Because I worked with my father for a fair bit, and we used to get very strange destinations of where our accent comes from. German, Lithuanian, Australian, fuck off. Don't ever call me an Aussie. We're South Africans. We have
dude, I'm with you on that. I fucking hate Aussies.
New Zealand, Australians, South Africans, we have like a mutual liking because of rugby reasons, but as far as like, don't call us each other. Like, like it's pretty funny. Ask any South African or Kiwi or Wallaby this, all 3 think the other one is too arrogant.
I can't stand the Australian accent. I can't stand the Australian accent. Like you can put Carmen Electra in front of me, and she had Australian accent. I'm just like, no, thank you, no.
That's weird because I don't like it on a guy. Like I can like when Aussie's like, you tend to be pricks. For the most part, there's 1 or 2 that I can sort of like. They're very extremely rare though. But on a girl, I don't mind it.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm very
And then what the
set.
girl is, yeah.
My vibe on that one. I'm like, no, I don't know. I'd like, who is it? There was one or two chicks that I was going to say, and they did their actresses, and they were like, oh, she's cute, and then she did that. Oh, I'm very Australian. I'm like, oh God, no, I couldn't
No.
do that.
How do you feel about like
Yeah.
watching rugby and you hear like Australian commentators?
No. I mean, I just don't like the Australian accent. Just, I mean, like if there's hearing it on a sports, but I mean, I don't sit there going like, it's not like that thing where people have like a, what do you call it, a convulsive thing. Every time you hear it, you want to throw up. It's not that hectic. I just can't stand it. It feels like when Yolandi Visser speaks. You know, it's that kind of like, you know, like, oh my God, just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I get that same feeling when I just look at her. Just like the hairstyles, like, my dear, you could don't look like a crackhead. Just why are you openly trying to look like you want to sell me meth? Not a good
exactly. One. But also, it's like the thing is, I mean, dude, I remember them from back in the day when they used to run, like when he used to walk around, like hang out but he's from Gardens, and then you know they came, like, what was the band called? He had a band before that, like way before the Antwoord, and he used to just hang out. We'd see him often. He was just a normal kind of a rapper guy. And then the next thing you know, he did the Marilyn Manson thing where he's like, everything is a persona. It's like he didn't fucking grow up in the hood. He's not fucking dealing crack. None of this shit. It's just like this image, and you know, it's like, okay, whatever.
I think you'll find that's most of the music industry.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the music industry is just like off the chain.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah, it is a gimmick. 100%.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like it's not like how it used to be back in the 60s, the 70s, where you had to work your way up through clubs and bars, and getting bottles thrown at you. You're wearing leather because it's actually protecting you. You know, nowadays, it's like, hey, look, you have a pretty face, and we can make you a record star. Like, no, that's cringe and gay.
No, it is totally cringe and gay. I mean, dude, I managed the Hogs for since 2000. And the first years, bro, like it's like playing from pub to club to every town. We'd go up the coast, you'd go up here, Hermanus, like Jeffries, we'd go play in PE and then East London. And it's just like a grind and not a single, like small clubs, all that shit. And then eventually, like, you get to play these big shows. But it's like, none of these people today do that shit. They just go like, oh, well, like even the Antwoord, they were like playing, they wanted to shows, and all of a sudden they just somebody saw the YouTube, it blew up, and they got flown to LA, and it's like, wow, like they're famous now. It's just like, again, that doesn't happen. It's like the 1% OnlyFans vibe, like no one really, that doesn't really happen to any of them.
Yeah, it's basically how Justin Bieber got famous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, I can see you, and just that's creepy because you're basically just bankable by what somebody else considers an investment.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's creepy because it's pushed on the audience. It's not organic.
Yeah. No, but that's it. It's marketed.
Yes, that's kind of the gimmick. And I would, like, with exceptions, maybe like a handful, probably because they were big in the 80s, but I can't think of a band that will last for like a half a century past 2000. Not that I can think of. Like, there's no band that is going to outlast like AC/DC or Led Zeppelin.
No.
In this generation. Not by a long shot.
No, but the bands in this generation is like, I every time I have this conversation with some of my friends, I'm going like, what are you listening to? I'm like, bro, I'm still listening to the shit from the 90s, because nothing in the last, nothing from 2015 onwards is just appealing in any sense. Like, just nothing. Maybe one or two like heavy metal bands. Like maybe one song I'll hear it, but like I'm not gonna go download it or even add it to my playlist. Like, it's just like I'll go back to the shit I love, because it's just like, wow, this feels like music. And also, like, the thing with everything just feels like it's overproduced these days. Like,
yes, there's a certain sound that is just Like, I've heard all of it, the same tempo and rhythm, and
100%. Like, there's this thing with what's the dude from Blink, the drummer from Blink, what the fuck ever his name is? I can't think.
Travis.
Travis Barker. He's been doing like a vibe with who is it? With Machine Gun Kelly, and with fucking, I don't know, this band and Avril Lavigne. And like, now I listen to it and I'm going like, wow, it's like, you can actually, now I found out you can buy the Travis Barker drum kit plugin, and you can just make your entire kit sound like Travis Barker. And we're going, all these bands that are just having been produced by him all sound the same, but it's just like, it's not even real. It's like, it's not anybody actually playing. It's just like, you know, synthetic drums that they've put on, and it's just like, that's his sound. And he's just, and then he became a Kardashian, and like, oh, fucking dude, just no, go away, fuck off.
Ew. Gross. Yeah, that's essentially the music industry and the way it's going to go. Is everything is becoming artificial, and well, most of them it already is now. And yeah, there's very little authenticity I found in much of anything these days, especially in media.
100%.
This is probably why
No,
everyone
totally.
is. That's probably why YouTubers get more views than movie stars,
It
and more
is.
people know YouTubers than movie stars, because you're basically just stuck in this one echo chamber. And also, the more information that comes out, like, wow, you guys are a whole bunch of perverts and homosexuals and drug addicts, and no thanks. That's old news. That's not the 70s where you can do that shit anymore. Yeah, it's outdated. And also, they're all very political, and it's just really, really gay. Like I like Robert De Niro. I don't care what you need to. I don't. Yes, 100%. You don't like Trump. I can tell, but like, to make it your entire persona makes you sound like a psychopath and someone who is like, the way I would describe like boomer Hollywood is, you were revered because everyone could see you, because you basically had the camera pointed at you for your entire sort of film career. And so this was like the way that everyone sort of got to know you, and how everyone got big is you were standing in front of this soul machine called camera. And then the internet came, and a whole bunch of other people could also become broadcasted to the world at large. Hence why we have, you know, YouTube and all these kind of things. And then after a while, people realize that you're just not that fucking interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
Other people can do funny, more interesting shit. And then slowly 100%. These people's entire currency of attention was diverted into other people who can, I don't know, like build a shed and suddenly get like 5 million views. No, and then they become irrelevant. Like, congratulations, there's some guy in bumfuck Birmingham that you just got outschooled by just building a shed. And I wish that was a joke, but it's like, that is legit the way it goes.
That is 100% true. No, but also the other thing, Spoon, is the fact is like that, you know what, we've all cottoned on now, because I think it's a combination of like of social media. It's like, you know, like back in the day, I remember like in the 90s, there wasn't this sort of digital connection between you and your Hollywood star, right? You'd only see him in the movie. You'd only see them like, you know, do an interview, and it would only be on TV.
There's no
and this type of shit.
Yeah,
there's no. And now we've all cottoned on to their opinion, and we've realized every single one of almost anybody in Hollywood has the exact same ideology to a degree. They all believe the same fucking thing. Everybody hates Trump. Everybody is fucking leftist. It's all just the same. It's just like, I mean, it's fucking weird to me. And I think that's why I think we're seeing this whole vibe of just like this complete shunning of Hollywood, their storytelling, and the entire fucking tribe of where they're going down. People just aren't interested anymore.
Yeah, it is very culty. I also say one other thing I think YouTube has going for it is that you get to interact with the audience directly. And there is this really weird thing that if you have like a comment and it's liked by someone that you watch, there's like, if it's like, oh, look, this person is noticing me, because like that's how humans work. That's perfectly fine. But I do find it's very, very weird when there's just like a numerical value on a screen, and just the fact that this person is watched by other people, their opinion somehow has validity. It could be completely insane, but just that it's watched by other people somehow makes it valuable, which it's very democratic. And I personally detest that, because I'm an elitist and snobby as shit. But it is still weird to me that that is how the internet works. I mean, just look at my own channel. That's, for as small as it is. If someone said to me like 10 years ago, even, or 10, 12 years ago, you're going to YouTube, you're going to get halfway to 100,000 subs, and you're going to talk about monarchy, I would look at them and go, what the hell crack are you smoking? How am I on YouTube? And how the hell did I get into politics, and let alone democracy? What the, let alone monarchy? What happened in my life that made me go to that? I'd like to know, because when I was at school, I was not really a fan of history or politics. I detested some history. I liked ancient Egypt and like Romans, because like, I'm a guy. So like, legions and swords and massacring people, fantastic. But as far as, I was more like a PC kind of guy. And actually, I still do politics by looking at human beings like they're just machines that need programming, and that's in a weird way, sort of also my politics. I just look at people and go, "You're stupid. You have potential, and you should never be listened to, and you should be thrown down a well." That's basically 90% of shit I see on TV. That's basically how my mind works. And so I was like the quiet, well-behaved kid in school. Like I was kind of, I wasn't quite nerdy. I wasn't quite sporty. I had like my foot in a whole bunch of cliques, except for the people that listen to dance music, because you can just look at them and go, "You too much MDMA and you're very boring." But that was like my thing when I was at school. It's only when I left school that I realized, okay, everyone is dumb as fuck. I feel very weird and isolated and alone because I don't really have that sort of majority feeling. It's maybe like metal music is probably why I belonged most. Certainly, it wasn't political. And so, as far as like outside the politics goes, like I'm very stereotypical guy. It's like I watch rugby, I lift weights, I eat biltong religiously. Basically normal, just dude things, just typical Afrikaner. I very much am, except the monarchy, which is like way the heck over here. But like every other way, I'm just like a regular dude, except for the fact that I listen to old books and weird old Jewish dudes. But that's basically me.
If I may ask, like, so what can you call it? Maybe like the turning point where what got you into politics? Like, if you're saying like you were a dude who was like not into this, because I mean, I remember the story of me. I'm going like I was never really into politics, but where it started making sort of clicked was I think it was early. I guys come from the punk scene, the 90s, the grunge, Cape Town, that thing. And then all of a sudden, just, I think it was year 2012 when I like, the Obama years. And I started to going, I think my brain like clicked with the whole 9/11 stuff. And I'm going, wait, stuff isn't what it is. And then the Obama years. And all of a sudden, everybody was like in the punk scene going like anti-government, fuck the establishment. All of a sudden became like, oh yeah, more government and, like your healthcare and this shit. I'm going to go, hold on, like, and that's somewhere around there. I got onto Sargon, was one of the first people I started watching. And it just like went, oh, okay, what, politics, this is actually important and you should know what the fuck is going on. But what was it for you? Like, how did you just, get where you are today?
I would say, okay, this is going to sound very weird by today's standards, but my introduction into politics was a girl with massive tits called Danny.
Nice.
One of the people that watches me right now, who commented on the stream a minute ago, I think she was like, "Oh, it's Danny." Yeah, she will know what Danny. Danny was, by today's standards, a unicorn that doesn't make any sense because she was a Bernie fan, is in California, would smoke weed, and she would ruthlessly mock everyone with slurs that would make her seem like a far-right fascist by today's standards. So she had like lefty politics, a right-wing bigot mouth, which by today's standard doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But that was what she was like. And this is what I said to someone before. How did you go from like a progressive to monarchist? Because that's like a huge, bizarre shift.
Yeah,
and
insane.
I said to people, being a Bernie fan, I think what appeals to Bernie is there's a sense of injustice in the system, and he comes across like someone who is willing to do something about it, at least if you're in the sort of the beginning stages of understanding politics and power. If you're naive, he's the kind of person that will at least draw you in. But I said
100%.
if you understand leftism, I would say or how you go from leftism to right is once you're at this crossroad of how does the system actually work, and how you go from am I interested in real politic? You will go to the right. If you are just interested in being a vengeful little shithead who hates the world, you'll go left wing. Because you will notice every leftist is an envious little shit who is just a dysgenic little prick who can't do shit. You just look at them and go, your genes will die with you because you're an inefficient genetic dead end. You can just see it. You can look at them and go, you do not have a bone of like hard work in you. You can just look at them and go, you're a bitch. Like your genes just look inferior. Like I can just look at you and go, you are someone a previous generation would trample and conquer because you suck. You could just look at people and just like you just see a leftist with like, the man bun and the scraggly beard and the fact that, your wrists are noodly and just fuck off. Like just that kind of weakness that I just look at them and go, I want to dress in Hugo Boss and kick your ass. I just do. Just something in me. It's just that mentality. It's just in me when I look at these people. And so from then, I used to watch a lot of the Lotus Eaters. I used to watch it every day. But something just looked at me and I went, I'm getting information, but I'm not really learning anything. It's just like a cycle.
Yeah.
And it made me go, I want to know how the sausage is made, because no one is being listened to. The people are pissed off, and the elites just seem to just go their own way. Like the connection to the people and the elite is completely disconnected in this weird way that I don't understand. How it's supposed to work and how it actually works is nowhere near the real world. And so Sargon mentioned this guy called Mencius Mollberg, who we now know as Curtis Yarvan, and this thing called the Cathedral. And I went, that sounds weird and interesting, and I want to know what that thing is, because the way he was talking is like completely divorced from how I am told how politics works. And he describes left and right in sort of like Catholics and progressives and how you would go. And I was never really a believer in democracy to begin with. It's just like, this is the system that is, but I was never really a believer in how it works, because I can just see that it doesn't. So
100%.
getting from democracy to monarchy was very, very easy, because just like, I'm basically a blank vessel. Like, hi, I can see this thing doesn't work. Someone please teach me how this thing is not cringing gay. Give me something else. The World War II communists and fascists, I'm like, no, those people are totalitarians. Fuck off. I don't want to deal with that. Like, how does power actually work? And so he would basically walk you through in this really weird way that if you are uninitiated, you'll probably find very discombobulating and weird. But I found that interesting. And so getting from that to monarchy was actually very easy, because I just wanted someone to go, just explain to me how this makes any fucking sense, because it doesn't to me. So give me something that does make sense. And monarchy built the West. Monarchy has built the greatness of our Western civilization for the most part. It's not great because of democracy. It's good in spite of democracy, because the colorblind post-World War II order is just completely insane. So he would recommend books like Hans Hermann Hoppe's Democracy of the God That Failed. That is a required reading for anyone that wants to get rid of democracy, even though he's an anarchist. But he says monarchy is better than democracy for economic reasons, actually. For a more sort of philosophical breakdown, even though the last chapters deals with the sort of spirituality of the fascists, which is way above my intellectual pay grade. There's a guy called Erich Ritter von Koiner-Ledin. He's an Austrian nobleman, spoke like 10 languages, insane. He wrote a book called Liberty or Equality, The Challenge of Our Time. And he basically gives you a philosophical backing of why monarchy is what it is. Then, of course, someone recommends the Leviathan and Its Enemies. That's Samuel T. Francis, I think. Then there's Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. Aristotle's Politics. Joseph de Maistre, oh God, I will always forget this because it's like a very, very long freaking title. He was a Frenchman. Actually, no, he was born on the island off the coast of Italy, so he's more Italian, but he's known for his work in the French Revolution. The generative principle of political constitution, studies on sovereignty, religion, and enlightenment. He's like, if you were going to have like a modern day right-wing Mount Rushmore, he would be on there, along with Aristotle, I would imagine, and probably Thomas Hobbes. Yeah, so these are who else would be? Bertrand de Jouvenel on power. That would be another one. These are the kind of things that if you read, you'll basically look at everyone else and go, holy fuck, we're screwed. Like we are so far removed from reality that this is like elite theory kind of stuff that is far more interesting than democratic mob rule. I don't think it's very difficult to get into, because I can understand that I'm by no means an intelligent person.
You come off as a super intelligent. I mean, I've been watching your stuff and I'm going like, oh my God. I was kind of dreading this, not dreading as I was going, oh fuck, I'm going to speak to someone who knows all the shit. And like, I'm like, what's that? And what's the other Andrew? What did the other Andrew say? Andrew Santiago. I'm not a smart guy. But like, I just see the dots don't connect, right? I don't see the dots connect with democracy, but the way you just explain these fucking amazing concepts in just this really easy form, like it's amazing. I mean, so if I may ask you, like, what would you say are the biggest flaws of like that you see with democracy? That why it? I mean, if you had to explain it to a layman, like why is it stupid apart from the fact of mob rule? I mean,
Oh,
if I'm not
well,
asking
why?
a dumb
Okay.
question.
Okay, no. That's very easy to actually answer. Is that who puts the people on the ballot? It's not the people.
Oh, yeah, fuck. That's that's exactly what I mean. Like right there, that simple little thing that you don't fucking think of. Everybody glosses over it. Nobody thinks about that.
Yes.
Fuck.
And like and the thing is just, do you put the people on the ballot? No. So who
No.
puts the people on the ballot? It's the merchant class. It's the rich and
The
the connected.
elites.
Yes. Yes.
100%, yeah.
Yes. So basically they just put the people on the ballot. You're just yaying and naying people, and then they go into power. You're just a means to an end. You don't have any actual power. If somebody else makes your choice, there's a good quote by Lysander Spooner. A man is no less a slave simply because he can choose a new master. It's true.
Yeah.
If you can choose a new prison guard, you're still in prison.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't fucking change anything.
Your option doesn't make you free.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, just looking at historically, what, like, South Africa, 36 years, what has changed? Fucking nothing.
Nothing,
We're just picking different people and going like, oh, and then everybody goes on about like, oh my God, democracy is, like, you just keep hearing that sort of parrot talk of like, oh, democracy, and like fucking Moonzi Maimani, democracy. And you're going, but like, we're not getting anything fucking out of it, right?
Yeah, it's because democracy is based on freedom, and freedom means what? Like, you have freedom without any government. You have a government because the state of nature is scary. So you enter into society with some kind of contractual obligation as to what do you offer the society. That's like basic civilization 101. So when people say we want freedom, I'm like, well, dude, you can just leave the city and go inside of nature and get freedom. If you want absence of coercion, that's where you will find it. But you enter into a society, and there's certain rules and obligations that make you go into a society. The same way that if you go into a bar, like, you are free to do certain things, but you're not free to do everything. You can't run around bollock naked, for example, in a bar. Well, you can, but not for very long. No. So there's certain things that you do in a bar that you don't do anywhere else. It's also like, this is also my argument against free speech, is that free speech absolutism is a retarded concept. Because do you say anything all the time? No. Do you say anything to your boss? No, because your boss will fire you if you get too much of a lippy jackass. Yes, so in every circumstance, there is a certain protocol and regulation that you self-censor based on the environment that you're in. This is like all of society. There's certain rules that you do and you don't do based on how the civilization works. And how the laws of what these things are cultural from decades of the same freaking people. And it's always top down, imposed in some way or the other, be this your family, the community, the government. It's never just we are free to do anything. Like, bitch, that's not how any civilization has ever worked. So 100%. When people champion liberty, I go like, liberty to do fucking what?
Fuck, man. Like, but this is the thing. When I started listening to him, going a whole bunch of things, like I used to consider myself, like the whole vibe of a free speech absolutist. And then you're going, but yeah, that's not really true, right? And I had the first time I got challenged with this was Mark Oppenheimer, and he was like, well, you're not really free. I mean, why would you, like, you've drawn your own line anyway. You don't do shit at work. And then now you've just blown it further out of the water. I'm going, yeah, you're fucking right, though. It's 100% true. It's like,
The reason why I'm not a fan of free speech is because the way that free speech is sold is this way to hold the elites accountable. Like, okay, well, first of all, that is not real. That's complete bullshit, because you just voted them out of office, and then the next person can do the exact same thing that the last person was voted out for. So that doesn't make any sense. Secondly, and this is where free speech really falls down, is the way that free speech gets sold. Like, oh, we need an informed population. I said to people on Twitter once, I said, okay, let me ask you people something. What do you want? Do you want honest politicians or an informed population? No one said an informed population. Everyone said honest politicians. So information is not what really moves the masses, which is kind of the freaking point. Yes, because here's the thing. That's
kind of scary.
Well, yeah, because the assumption is that informed people make certain decisions. Well, if the elite are picking the people, it doesn't matter how informed the people are. If you just have jackasses and crooks on the ballot, the intelligence of the people does not make it to the government at all.
Fuck.
So that doesn't make any sense. And secondly, the assumption is, if you give people, there's an assumption that there's a rational bone in every human being, and if you just give them this information, this is what they will gravitate towards, which is not true at all.
Yeah, it's 100% not true.
That's not how any human beings work. So when you say that You just want the correct information. Like, no. It's not about the correct information. It is about what appeals to people emotionally. For example, if you look at any kind of data maps over, if you just had men voting, Democrats would never see fucking power ever, because the only people that vote for Democrats are a bunch of homosexuals and women. And that's not a joke. That is, like, for the most part, true.
No, it's no. I know it's true. So I'm laughing because it's like,
it is just funny though.
We're not used to hearing somebody say
like,
it.
yeah, but you just look at the maps and stats and go,
yeah,
this is the reality. Nobody wants to talk about reality because our entire Western civilization right now is built on ignoring reality. Nobody wants to talk about the reality between men and women. No one wants to talk about the realities between race and IQ. No one wants to talk about any of this kind of shit when it's just very obvious. Like, dude, like, how much of this am I allowed to see? And the reason why someone like me is popular is because I'm basically the thing that people say that nobody else wants to say, and it makes you feel sane. Because if everyone else around you is lying, you're going to go nuts. And then someone just goes like, no, this is complete bullshit. Like, oh, thank God, I'm not the only one who sees that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just takes courage. I'm not exactly brilliant. I just look at this and go like, yeah, this is just reality that I'm describing.
No, I mean, I noticed this. I mean, I've noticed this with like Andrew Wilson when he brings up Force doctrine, and people just, it's almost like it's that scene in the Matrix where Neo's like, wait, this isn't real. This isn't real, and he's like, get me out of here. I'm going to throw up. And it's like, but he's not saying what should be. He's going just like, this is what it is.
This is reality.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, this is reality. It's like the entire world that we know is based on power. And it's like, but we kind of live this. Yeah, we live in this lie going, well, it's not really. It's like, we can just go we can go vote. And I'm going like, and this is what I thought about the previous election here. And I thought kind of like, but it doesn't really fucking matter who I vote for. It's like, it's not going to change anything. It's like the masses, even if just like the masses vote, the unintelligent part, like there's a massive part of the voting bloc that just doesn't know shit. They vote in this country like they would for a sports team. They outnumber the rational people 10 to 1. Like, there's no fucking way that even if the DA was sane, they would go that way. There's no way that the DA would ever be in power. It's like it's just logically, rational, mathematically impossible. It's not gonna fucking work.
Yeah, it's probably why it's set up the way that it is, because they do a competent job in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to the rest of the country, Cape Town is paradise. Like, if you look at Pretoria, Joburg, it's like bloody hell. It's a shit show.
Eastern Cape. Good Lord, bro.
Yeah. Someone's like, how many arrests do you think the population has gone through till date? Probably all of them, I would imagine. Because resets, rather. Yeah. Every election day is a reset. That's the whole bloody point. Because people seem to think if because something that I've noticed why monarchy scares people is because in our lifetime, all that we've known is bad politicians, and democracy is the way to get rid of them. Yeah. And so this is the only frame that people see the world. And so I would tell people, those in government that fuck shit up, like, how many do you know that's actually definitely them? And you're like, none, because the bureaucracy is so huge, responsibility is very much diffused. And so you don't really get accountability, despite the fact that democracy has sold you. But it's not like that. I say to them, I can understand if you look at government and go, there is no person in government that I would trust with any amount of power because they all suck ass. Fair enough. But be aware that is the entire bureaucratic web, and the government is public. Yeah. Whereas if the government is private and the king owns the people, he actually has a vested interest in the people, because if his people suck, his kingdom does not get any better. That's the first thing. Secondly, is if you look at the king, it's a lot harder to do shit when everyone knows you're the final say on everything. And there's no fail-safe. There's no like little reset switch of like, oh, yeah, it's like you are the last person. There's a reason why the song says heavy is the head who wears the crown, because all responsibility is on that one head. But I mean, it's a lot harder to get away shit.
No, of course. I mean, because the thing is like how do you but it feels like the more like I've been watching your stuff, the more it feels like it's going like democracy is almost like, I had this thing about give you like a dumb analogy. I mean, I have a much better one. What?
It's ruled by money.
Yeah, but it's not ruled by money. But there's this thing where it's like they've implemented this sort of system that you can't kind of get out of, almost like what's the vibe? Like PAYE. You could never actually revolt against the government, right? Because you could never do a tax revolt, and it's like because you'll have to revolt against your business, your form of income. So like your ability to do a tax revolt doesn't fucking exist. There is no such thing, right? And that was implemented by government. So the entire concept of sort of this government with multiple fucking different people, you can never eradicate them. Like if there's a king that sucks, we can all just rise up and go fucking guillotine him.
Yes.
Right. And then his kid can take over, and then he's like, oh, this is a nice kid. He's cool. And then maybe his son becomes Joffrey, and we go fuck him, and we kill Joffrey, and then the daughter takes over. But there is this. So yeah, it makes sense. I mean, also the other side is what you're saying is like you can actually get shit done.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing that people don't. Yeah, because there was someone asked Curtis a very good question. They asked him, is America going more libertarian or authoritarian? And he said they're kind of strange pejoratives in a sense that when you think of authoritarian or libertarian, you tend to think of just government doing bad things. And something that I've noticed in the American mind, they cannot conceptualize that government can do bad things in any other form except the one. When they think of government bad, it's always one person and it's a tyrant.
Yeah,
like the concept that a whole bunch of people can get together and do something bad is completely anathema to the American mind.
But that is exactly what they're doing. That's like a massive amount of people are doing terrible shit together.
Yes.
And they're all complicit in it.
Yes, but for some bizarre reason, as long as it's this weird conception of balance, they don't think that corruption exists in a way that it would in a monarchy. And I'm like, yes, I agree. The monarch would never be able to get away with shit that the government does now in a million years. Like if a monarch saw what a modern day democracy gets away with, they would be green with envy. Because there's a good quote by Nelson. Horatio Nelson was an English, I think he was a naval commander in England, and he said something along the lines of, a king can do something wrong, but a republic will never do anything right, for a knot of men do what one man would never dare attempt. Which is absolutely true.
Yeah. No, that's 100% true. They could get away with shit, but like a king couldn't, because he knows his life is at risk. Because there's only one person to accuse. You're pointing a finger at one person. Over here, oh well, the reason shit doesn't. Oh, they're like, this thing doesn't work. Oh, it's like, wow, no, it's the DA, and there you go. The DA goes, no, it's the ANC, and the ANC go, no, it's the fucking EFF, and everybody points finger. No, it's the minister of this. The amount of people. I mean, this is why nothing fucking happens in this country. This is why, a king can't blow a bunch of money. We'll go, oh, he's blowing money. We can see him. He's got a car. Just think of the cost we'll save. I mean, just mathematically.
Yeah, and it's also interesting. I was actually messing around with the AI on Twitter, on Grok, because Grok has this really weird ability to be nuanced and understand concepts in a way that modern human does not. And it made a good point of, in the old days of kingdoms would compete against each other by, for example, building great works in economic power, because that's the way that kings would flex against each other. And so, for example, great works of cathedrals was a staple of how they would show wealth and grandeur. And it's not based on money. It's based on, this is prestige for the civilization. And I think if you were to pitch to modern man nowadays, the concept of building something that doesn't have return on investment in a capital sense, but rather spiritual beauty, it's completely anathema to modern man.
Yeah.
Because our buildings and architecture are horrifying. You look at what the ancient Greeks would do. It's how the hell did you build this with your bare hands and without modern day machine? It's insane. How our ancestors would just glorify the human form in such exquisite works of art, versus us, who just, everything has to have a purpose for function, and that function is just produce more shit.
Yeah.
And it's very depressing.
No, it's fucking depressing, man. It's and it was you just raised the point, they didn't build it just for fucks, shits and giggles. They build it for their people, these massive, the monuments.
That's kind of why I like Christianity as sort of a backbone, because I do think, dude, without religion, people get rotten. Yeah. As much as you can dislike religion all you want. Yeah, but
no, I
oh God,
completely agree with you.
I wish Afrikaners would be more Orthodox and less Protestant. Because I grew up with Protestant, but I look at them now, I'm like, oh God, I think the amount of Afrikaners who support Israel makes me like go like, do you know anything about how apartheid ended? Like, if you like the current state of things, like I can't look at them and go, okay, you can't tell the world to please take a look at the Afrikaner plight while you support Israel. That does not make any moral sense to me whatsoever, and it's really shady. Like, if you don't like what's being done to you, then you have to take a stand against Israel and go like, you can support the Jews but dislike the Israeli state. Because there's plenty of people who are Jewish, who are pro-Jewish, but hate Netanyahu because they think he's an asshole and he's really bad for Israel on the global stage, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think that's particularly contentious. I think that's like, well, yeah, that's fairly obvious. He doesn't make us look good, so we don't like him. The same way that people who are like pro-America don't like Trump because they think he gives a bad reputation on the global stage. I don't personally agree, but I can understand to make the case.
Yeah.
And so when I look at that, I'm like, Afrikaners, there's like, Orthodox, you can go with that. I know it's kind of strange because Protestant has always been like the reason why we have Afrikaners in the first place is because they've fled Catholic persecution. Like the Huguenots were Protestants fleeing France. So I actually had a conversation with Andrew about that. I said to him, I think the reason why Protestantism, at least in South Africa, worked for a time being is because it was just one denomination. It was just Protestants.
Everybody was, there wasn't a difference between it. It was like, I remember growing up, going to my grandma to, the Protestant NG Kerk, and then the sort of more what Dutch reform, not Dutch reform, but like it's still fucking Protestant. Everything was Protestant. Everything was the same thing. The one was just a little bit different, but it's like, there wasn't any other kind of church.
Yeah. So when I went to Ireland, they're like, you have like Catholics there? Like, what's Catholics? I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah.
Like,
never fucking
everyone is
Catholics.
Protestant back home. Yeah, because we don't have that. Like, we were all just Protestant for like 400 years. Any other form of Christianity was just like completely anathema to us. It was kind of weird. Like, you worship Mary? That's weird. We don't do that.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, Europe is very strange in that sense.
But you do raise a good point. It's like, because I've thought about it for ages, and every time, like you watch people in debates, and especially people that like, I mean, this is something I've realized now watching a lot of Andrew Wilson, right? It's like the whole vibe when he goes down into the worldview and he just decimates it, and you see the shit that people are happy to believe and happy to do when you've like, and the conclusion I've come to is like, you've removed religion. Like, what is your entire ethos? What is your morals based on? Yeah, your ethics system. What is it like? It's just whatever, like what preference. It's just like, whatever I feel like is I'm going, and that's kind of the thing that religion kind of stopped people from doing. It stopped people going just debaucherous shit and going like, because there's no like a wall to stop shit on that side. It's like when you remove religion, it's a fuck up, right?
Yeah, because essentially what has happened in the post-World War II society is that all differences between races and tribes must be eradicated so we can all hold hands and sing Kumbaya, presumably to just get more shit. Because I've asked people, like, why should you ignore different tribal bonds that has been the staple of every civilization since the dawn of time? For what reason? Liberalism is a cult because the idea of eradicating tribal identities, which is like, it's a basic function of your human defense mechanism, and to eradicate it is completely insane. You're not going to get that done through anything except brute force. And I think Europeans have noticed that, hey, we're actually getting the rough end of the stick here because every other group gets to be tribal except us. And people start to ask, like, why is that the thing? And so I get very spicy, and I keep it within the TOS. I just say to them, can you explain to me why ethnic Europeans have to share their lands and the lands they've civilized with those who don't share their God values or bloodlines? What do Europeans get out of this exactly? Nobody has answered that question.
No one can answer that.
And no one ever will, because if they did, I would whoop their monkey ass all over the place, because I'm right, and they have nothing to answer.
But the argument is always the same. It's like, well, it's the right thing to do. But what do you mean? What
by whose standards?
Right. What is the good thing? Why? Yeah, it's bizarre. And I like, listen, I mean, I started off thinking I was a libertarian, and then when the first video I made, I'm like, I feel like I'm a libertarian. I'm just like, after the couple of months, I'm going, wait, I'm not fucking that anymore. Like I've literally just gone, no, that's not really where I fucking am in the world. I'm not even fucking sure anymore.
You could be a libertarian and a monarchist. As a matter of fact, most people know that our monarchists actually got to monarchy from libertarian, because they realized the only way they could get a libertarian society is through monarchy.
Oh, wow.
Strong executive, holds the reins of power.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not married to libertarianism. It's like it's just a concept of it's going like, you know, and this is right. And this is one thing I think that you've now, from watching your stuff, I'm going like, yeah, this obsession with freedom. You're going like, but you're not. I'm not fucking really free. But somehow it's like I just think I am. And I'm going, I feel like, and I've always had the thought of going like, friends of mine I've never been to the States, friends of mine go to the States, and it's like I don't really, how is that the fucking land of the free? I feel more free in South Africa. Like I don't get, I can fucking drive over the traffic light if I want to. Like the chance of a cop stopping me is not really going to happen. I can do a bunch of illegal, I can bribe, I can, you know, do a bunch of, I feel that's kind of a bit more free than, you know, being constantly watched.
More Mad Max here.
It's kind of more Max here. And it's like, I'm kind of like, yeah, I kind of like that vibe. Yes, it comes with the downside, but it's like, I would give that up to like be constantly. Yeah, that's the thing though.
Yeah. I would say, but I mean, the way that I would describe libertarianism to people, because I said on the stream yesterday, I said, there's no reason you can't be an Islamic theocrat and not be a libertarian. It just depends on what you want freedom for. Because I said, for example, if I take a gay guy that lives in San Francisco, he obviously lives in San Francisco because he's a homosexual and the state permits him to do all kinds of crazy, wild shit, right? That's what he lives for in California. But if we were to take him and drop him in, say, Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia would throw him off a roof, quite literally.
Yes.
He wouldn't last very long.
Literally.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. But if you take, say, for example, an Islamic theocrat who lives in Saudi Arabia, he is free from homosexuals in his society. He allows the state to take care of a thing that he does not want. So if he has like 2 or 3 things that are very religiously enforced, that the state enforces, and he thinks that's fine, and he doesn't have to contend with all of this excess liberal shit that we have in the West, he's still a libertarian because he just has the state is very fine and does well with the power that he wants the state to do.
Yeah.
So like what we consider oppressive, he just considers good statecraft.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But also then at the same time, but this brings us back to the thing. Why is it completely fine for him to have that belief, but yet you are not allowed being tribal? Yeah, you're not allowed to like, oh, you know, you have to bend the knee to every $1 million question. Fucking
If you can answer that question, then we would be in a whole different society. Because that's the question that I asked in my video. I said, like, why does his freedom to be a degenerate homosexual trump my desire to be free from that shit? Give me a fucking reason.
I mean, you can't. There is no fucking. There is like they won't be able to give you a reason. It's just like their preference. But why is their preference more sought after than your preference? I don't understand.
It's because the regime will always select for people like that. Like every single class is like a voting base. So if you think of all these degenerate weirdos, it's basically just a permanent voting block for the state. That's how they grow the client class.
So all of that, then every time, I mean, all of that seems to always come back to this concept of trying to push sort of a voter block.
Yeah, that's basically
to try and keep me in power. Classes. Yeah, I'm going to appeal to the biggest audience so that, you know, give you anything you want and not really give it to you and just say we're going to give it to you and then you keep me in power.
Yeah, you can read some of Paul Godfrey's books. He talks about that kind of stuff, as well as James Burnham, the Machiavellians. That's probably a good place to start. Yeah,
the Machiavellians. Such a list of...
these are the kind of things that make you go from, hi, I'm a happy Democrat, to sweet Jesus Christ, I desire an absolute monarch to just massacre everyone who disagrees with me. Like, that's terrifying. Like, no. This is the way it needs to be done. This is the way it's always been done. It's not really that scary. It's scary for you because you'll be at the other end of the receiving end. But like me on the other end, like, nah, I'm all right here. There's a really good debate that I watched. Well, when I say good, I mean it's good from my side because there's a guy called Dave the Distributist. He recently debated a guy called Coughness. He was you could just look at the two of them and go like, which one has the more correct opinions? And it's clearly Dave. They were debating, is elite consensus a good thing for society, and what should happen to the current elite. Now, Dave is a master's, and Dave is very intelligent. I think Dave is great fun to watch, and Dave just fucking massacred this dude. Dave is very good at like reaching the spicy limit and then pulverizing the shit out of you with it. He's very articulate, and he is an absolute bulldozer. He will just get you by the throat and just like hammer you until you admit this. And if you don't, you'll just look like an idiot because Dave knows what he's doing. And I watched. David has the patience of a saint. So when I see Dave's face is like, I'm going to kill you, I'm like, okay, this is a territory that I've never seen Dave in before, ever. Because he debated someone from the Babylon Bee, and oh my God, that was just a train wreck. And this one was even worse. And it's the first time I could like see Dave like actively getting visibly angry. And I'm with him because I'm also like, oh my God, just stop, just shut up. Let Dave talk and answer his fucking question, you son of a bitch. I was actually just getting mad, just thinking about the stupid shit this man said was driving me insane. Because the guy he's talking to is like a professor at university, and he just got clobbered by Dave. And
I'll go check it out.
He made a very good case for it when he said the current elite is not run on facts, they're run on morality. So if you want to tank the current establishment, you need to make them look immoral. Which is a very, very good way of phrasing it. Because if you watch that debate with Andrew and that 150 IQ chick that he had on recently, her entire worldview is predicated on just how things should be.
Are you talking about the chick that went like, tells Brian, like, stop, like, you need to get him under control. I'm going to go back and I'm leaving. The chick that kept bitching about she's going to leave. She's going to fucking leave. That one.
That's the one. Yeah.
Brilliant debate.
The one that kept adjusting her tits for most of the bloody debate. Yeah. Like, my dear, yes, you have tits. You also have tits for fucking brains. You know? There's no way in hell the woman has a 150 IQ. And the reason I know this is because actual intelligent people do not boast about their IQ.
No, they don't.
Yes, because it's cringe. And if you had actual fucking brains, you would just let the brains do the talking and don't flex, because you're putting yourself on a pedestal. Yeah. If you actually have brains, you don't do that. You just say, here's my worldview. Like what Andrew does. Andrew just says, I have an average IQ, and then he just boffles the shit out of you, which makes him look like a Chad. If you go, I have 150 IQ and I'm getting my ass kicked by a self-admitted nitwit, you look like a dumbass, or worse, the liar, because no way in hell do you have a 150 IQ. If you do, whoever told you that is a liar and full of shit, because you don't. You're an idiot. So that's the kind of shit that I looked at and went like, oh my God, this makes way more sense now, because her entire worldview is just, this is how things should be. When she said compassion is how you deal with someone who will violate your rights, I'm like, bitch, if they're already using force, it means they are no longer in the mood for talking.
Yeah, no, they're not.
That's how diplomacy breaks. Ultima ratio regum, the last argument of kings, is written on King Louis XIV's cannons. Like, when talking is over, they will use force. If they're using force, they're not going to talk. Or when she said the conquering, you don't need not all conquering has been done through force. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I was just, it was painful to watch. But this is where, like, I watching Andrew, I'm going like, bro, the fucking patience.
Andrew has patience.
Patience.
Insane.
4 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours. I'm going,
how do you do this repeatedly, Andrew?
No, fucking, it's insane. The level of just patience this man has with fucking stupid ideas and just like shit that doesn't make sense. And he just like, he gives them rope, and he gives them rope, and he gives them rope, and he gives them rope for like 4 hours, and he fucking decimates them. And I'm like, I'll watch those hours just for that fucking 4 minute of just getting absolutely blasted. It's beautiful to watch.
It was really funny to watch her face when Andrew said like men can just exterminate women at whim, and the look on her face when he says exterminate, the entire just mood shifted, because she realized she's fucked. because that is reality. Like, the reason you exist as a woman in any society is because the men are not turning you into like breeding sows for the state. That is, and when
No,
you
but that's
what drove me insane, aside from the fact that she kept saying should for literally every justification for why she thinks this, at no point does she ask herself, why do I believe in this?
yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, no,
you're just a
that's
drone. That you have a worldview that has been programmed into you. You have some intelligence because you can tell, I can just see by the way that you're reacting to what you're hearing, you know that you're in the wrong. But like this
yeah,
constant need to just get defensive over everything, it's because to Andrew it's reality, to you
Yeah.
it's your entire existence. So he is
Yeah.
attacking like you. To you it's an existential crisis. That's when it's like, that's a genuinely terrifying prospect. Yeah, to you
yes,
it's terrifying because it's a rebuke of your worldview. To Andrew it's
yeah,
just
of course.
it's an average Tuesday.
Yeah,
Because he
but
does this all the
you
freaking
can,
time.
but you can see it when it clicks in their eyes. You can sometimes notice when this is going, oh fuck, this completely
Yes.
the questions you ask them, and then they will just refuse to answer a basic question because they know their worldview is fucked. But it's like, why not just
Yes.
go like, why not accept that and go like, okay, cool, but like let's follow this train and get to actual truth. And it's like, no, they won't. I will fucking hold on to this thing no matter how wrong it gets proven in fucking real time. It's insane.
Yeah, it's because to them it's a religion. That's the
Yeah.
reason why. It's not it's to us, to a guy listening to that, it's like, well, yeah, this is just how any society works. Like, we don't even think of
sense,
it
yeah.
as anything other than just functional reality. Like, when
Yeah.
she describes like what men do, it's just like, well, this is not how it should be. Like, well, that's a nice worldview that you have in your little bubble boy head. But in reality, men use force to protect you. And the reason why is
Yeah.
because men and women need to actually get together and have sex to produce offspring. Otherwise, the human race dies, you dumbass. The reason they defend you is because you can do that. And
Yeah.
if you want to protect yourself, what do you think the men are going to do? And why the hell would they do that? You need to offer them something in exchange for protection. That is how human... Do you know how puberty works, by dear? Do you know what happens when puberty kicks in? Like, you have the ability to produce offspring, and men get muscle and aggressive. That they get territorial to protect you from threats.
Yeah.
That's how... You know what biology is, like, at all? Do you understand anything of how any civilization has ever formed, ever? This is the kind of shit that I would say. I would just look at it and go like, you're fucking insane and you're a delusional kid. You have the mind of a 5-year-old. A girl, obviously, because even a boy will play with toy guns and swords by the age of 6.
Yeah. No, of course.
Like, this is the...
But where do you think this fucking incessant need comes from to want to be like this, like, you know, the notion of equality? And I'm just going like, we hear it, it's propagandized, indoctrinated into us. Like, I think for the last 20 years, that's all we hear. But why? It's like, we're not equal. No one is fucking equal. What is the fucking, like, what is the need to have everything be equal? I'm not equal to you. You can maybe run faster. You do weights. I didn't fucking do weights. You can pick up more. We're not fucking equal. Like, you know, I've got gray beard. There's nothing equal about anybody. But this incessant need to fucking be equal. Why? Like, where does that come from? Is that just like fucking the politicians
that's anti-Nazi propaganda.
What?
Because it's anti-Nazi propaganda. See, the Nazis did not think everyone was equal. The Nazis were very, very aware that there's a racial difference. And if you acknowledge that, you're like the Nazis. I know that sounds very simplistic, but that's literally what's powerful. Because if you can't acknowledge anything the Third Reich did was good, I will acknowledge the Third Reich did plenty of things right all damn day long, because you can't freaking tell me that the Third Reich was shit when they were literally staring down the entire world and go, if you don't do something, we will take over everything. So clearly they did something right if you think they're a threat to the entire worldview, and 70 fucking years later, you're still screaming, oh my dear God, Hitler is just around the corner. Shut the fuck up, bitch. No, he's not. He's just a villain that lives rent-free in your head. Yeah. It's really funny, because this tiny little mustache man that was a lot on drugs very often is somehow around the corner constantly. It makes me laugh, because I think if Hitler saw the state of society today, he would just be like, why do these people think I'm like Satan? In this, I feel like, my God, I think if you were to just show Hitler APAC nowadays, he would go like, I was right. Fuck all of you. He would be on a constant winning campaign like Mr. Bean when he's just like flipping everybody off in the back of the car. He would just go, I was right. See what I tell you. because he would have a point.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with everything that he did, but you can look at it and go like, well,
but that's the thing. People can't do that. People can't go like, I was like, we have to eat every single thing Hitler did is evil. I'm going like, but wait, what did he? You're like, yeah, there's a fuckload of shit
too, you know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's going like everything he did evil, even like stroking his cat, having a cat. It's like there's an evil cat now. Like just be like.
How many of you drive a Mercedes Benz or Volkswagen?
No, but
like, how do you feel about German engineering? You can't like rockets and also hate the Nazis.
But that's the thing. It's going like,
think rockets there in the first place is Nazi scientists. Man.
Fucking NASA.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things. That's one of the things I joked about. People is the pre-Second World War history is like, oh look, there's nothing special about the Germans. The Aryan race is totally not special. As soon as the Second World War is over, hey Nazis, would you like to help us land on the moon? Like,
there we go.
No, Germans are definitely a special breed of human being. That doesn't mean you need to kill everyone else who isn't German, but you have to acknowledge there is something uniquely special about the Germans. The same way that the Russians, for some bizarre reason, seem to be able to endure absolutely fucking everything. Just because that's just they're built in the cold. Their endurance is next level shit.
No, that 100%, dude. It's like it's in fucking insane. They're like, they're just built differently.
Yeah, I don't know why I would consider myself a supremacist, but when you say supremacist, it doesn't mean that anything that doesn't have this thing that you're good at deserves to die. I don't know why people think this. Like, if I just look at like long distance running, who dominates? Kenyans and Ethiopians.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that everyone that can't run as far as they can needs to be culled. It's just like fucking weird. It's like, no, that's retarded.
But also, you're not allowed. I mean, like that just goes down the thing. You're not allowed to like your own tribe because that's the same thing, right? It's like I prefer my tribe over everyone else. Like, oh, you're like a Nazi. And I'm like, no, I prefer my tribe. Like that whole hierarchy of like family, then your community, your friend group, and then your community, right? It's like, well, I prefer my friends, my family above everybody else. I'm a supremacist when it comes to my family.
That's completely normal.
Fuck, I am. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you're biased in favor of my own kin. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like we're not allowed to. Oh, well, that's totally wrong. It's like, but how? Why is it wrong?
Why?
Like, yeah.
I think it's because I think it's primarily driven by fear. Because nobody's scared of all the massive other people, but if it's us, then it's like, white identitarianism is very bad. Yeah, because white identitarian tends to, I don't know, conquer and build nation states. That's the reason why. Nobody else is scared of the rest of the world because you don't do shit. You need us to do fucking anything. That is the reality. Nobody wants to say that out loud, but I fucking will because I can see migration patterns, motherfucker. No one is going to your nation to do shit because there isn't anything there. You come to us because you want our fucking management.
Yeah.
Like you're anti-colonial, but you want the colonial powers.
Fuck, that's fucking 100% true. Like, they hate colonialism, but now they want to move. Like, oh, fuck the settlers, fuck colonizers, but yet the entire world wants to move to America. Like the entire Southern America wants to go to America. The entire Africa wants to go to Europe. And it's like, but at the same time, you hate them. Why the fuck do you want to move there if you hate the people? Like, I don't understand.
Yes. Well, it's just because we're better than them. That's just an objective fact. If you just look at who builds the world, who built Western civilization, like there's a small graph that I can't remember who posted it, but it's like a triangle between like roughly like somewhere at the end of Scotland to about more than halfway to the ends of like Italy, and it's like for like the last 700 years, like over 90% of all inventions came from genes of this region of the world. Like these group of people basically built everything that you see for the last like 7 centuries. Nobody wants to say like why is that the thing, but it's like we are the builders of the world, and we also make the most benevolent rulers because everyone wants to live near us for some bizarre reason.
But the thing is, it's like, how do I explain this? Well, I have a theory on that, right? And I'm going like, it's the opposite of what we call privilege. It's not privilege, it's sacrifice, right? Because it's not just it's like, use an example like the Afrikaner, right? And like somebody made a point about this. I think it was the guy Warris. I don't know if you've seen this dude. He was on somebody's podcast. There's this like colored guy called Waras, and he was talking about this whole thing about the Afrikaners. It's generational. It's like you've passed down farming. Like you grew up in it. It's like it's this thing. It's like it's this honor. It's this not an honor. It's like it's just this thing you grew into. It's a duty. It's like, listen, you're going to take over the farm and you're going to run it good. And from a young age, you've got the entire family going, this is how it works. And you understand it, you talk about it, and everybody in your community talks about it. And it just, that's like the parents sacrifice their lives or everything that
it's lineage.
It's lineage. And they keep doing that. Whereas then you've got other tribes and people that just don't give a fuck about that. Like, like I'm going to have 20 kids and not give a fuck about them and not provide for them and just going like, yeah, fuck, you're on your own. And then you go like, but why is there shit like single motherhood? It's like, that's not helping the society or the tribe or the people. It just perpetuates like a worse thing happening down the line. And then we wake up like fucking 100 years later and going, oh, how did we get here? I was like, yeah, because your great grandparents and everybody after that made terrible fucking decisions, one after the other. And the other people who are successful didn't do that. They kind of thought generationally, going like, oh, I need to pass this down to my youngins, like this plot, this land, this thing.
That's basically how the aristocratic class remains in power. Is because they breed with objectively better people. And people think like, well, people always think eugenics is bad. I'm like, well, you do it with animals in a farm, so why can't you do it with human beings? I don't really consider that's like I can see why you would think it's fucked up if the state is telling you who you should marry and breed with. Okay, that's maybe a bit far. But if someone just says like, I would like to marry someone who's, like grandparents live to over 100, they don't have any illnesses, they come from a wealthy family with good education, it's like, why is that bad?
But dude, you see that in the Afrikaner community. I remember as a child, like one half of my parents they come from farming community, and that was the vibe. Even like my little cousin, who's like, just got married 4 years ago, she's 27, and from a young age, it's like it gets programmed into, you met the boer trou and these things. How is that any different? It's like you're going like, listen, you got to marry, you got to think of like who he is. He's got to be a good man. He's got a good Christian lad, and he's got to have like his parents should have a farm. It's like, yeah, we've been doing that kind of thing for ages, and we're still doing it now.
200 years,
like, why are they successful? Well, that's fucking why they're successful. That's why they're, it's like, but it's
nobody wants to have a discussion about what genes get passed on. Yeah, because because when you look at like, where do our genes come from? Our genes come from the Netherlands, and what's the Dutch known for? Farming. Yeah, God, exactly. It's almost like if you do the same thing for 8 generations, you might get good at it. Like, shocker.
No, but that's the truth. That's fucking 100% true. But and it's
you know why people don't talk about that?
No,
because if they realize intelligence is hereditary, the entire liberal dream dies.
Oh yeah, that's a hard one for anybody to swallow.
Yeah, and
but that's the thing. It's like I'm just like
intelligence is genetics. It's like it's not nurture. It's mostly nature.
No, it isn't. No, but it's like you pass it down, and then you've got certain elements which aggravate it and make it worse, right? So like malnourishment. But these like, again, I think the vibe is like
they're like minuscule,
minuscule. It's like a 0.5% or a percentage point that this type of thing. You could teach a kid as much.
Maybe like a third of a standard deviation. Yeah, it's like maybe like 5 or 6. But listen here, you're not going to take an 85 IQ and turn it to 120 by making the baby listen to fucking Mozart in the womb. Like, this is not real. Like, please, can we live in the reality? Because you can't make a genius. Something that I've known in our civilization, in the Western civilization, education is treated like a religious doctrine. That you can just make 100%. Anyone into an engineer if you just give them the right information. Like, bitch, you can't even do this through fucking voting. So shit, you're not going to do it with someone's livelihood. Please give me a fucking break. I can tell stupid people and intelligent people very, very quickly because I can just ask them a couple of questions and realize you're someone who I can talk to. And again, the well for you. Like, no, get away from me. I don't have patience for you. I've done this. I have like a couple of key questions that I would ask people nowadays, and I'm probably conceded to a few people, but it's like, no, I have patience and I already have high blood pressure and I don't want to make it any worse. That's just I have to have pattern recognition, and that pattern recognition extends to stupidity rather rapidly these days.
No, but I mean, that's
So,
listen.
yeah.
I can give you a great example of that. Like I wasn't like what do you call it, like book smart type of thing. I have ADD
Neither was I.
and I was dyslexic, so I sucked at school, right? But at the time there was no like you needed X amount of marks to go to university. I didn't have those marks. There was no like, well, I'm going to go study. It's like, no, you're not going to study. You're going to have to find something in the creative. You have to do something creative, blah, 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 film industry or what the fuck ever. There was no like, well, we're going to study anyway. It's like, but what would be the point? Because the universities back then, they didn't give a fuck, right? Because this is just after, like, I was like, what, 2000 somewhere. I was going, I'm not gonna go study. I don't have the marks. It's never gonna happen. Today, you've got people who have 30%, and then they're 50% of the first years drop out. You're not going to be a doctor, but like somehow we're going like, oh, equality, like you need to be able to go study for us. It just doesn't make any sense. And they've put education on this fucking pedestal, and they're going, you've got people that start their businesses, that do so much better than somebody that you've now spent how much money that you've loaned, that you went and did this thing now, and you still didn't become that thing. You ended up not.
Yeah, that's basically the society that we live in right now. I didn't go to university either, and I was not a particularly gifted student. I was maybe good at like biology and math.
Bad at all of it.
I was okay at. Yeah,
I just fucking sucked at math.
Yeah, no. I was not a good math student at first, and then my mother basically just drilled it into me because an Afrikaans mother of German heritage. So you must be good at numbers.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will learn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite funny because my mother, she was a radiographer. And so, my mother is ruthlessly organized to the point of terrifying. So at work, she was called the German General. So good nickname to have. Yeah. She was actually, it was cool because she worked at like a private clinic, and the private clinic would service like the sports teams. So they would occasionally get some of the South African rugby players to come through, as they played for like the Irish clubs. So yeah, so she actually, I can't say which one for legal reasons, but she sent me one of the ones, let's just say one of the taller ones. There's not many of them if I say the tall ones. And she took a picture and was like, hey, look who was in the work day movement today. And I went, holy shit, World Cup winning. So yeah, that kind of narrows, wasn't even because even doesn't play in the North. But I was looking like, holy crap, he's huge. Because my mother's not particularly tall, but she's taller for some of her age. But I was like, holy crap, lucky mom, she gets to meet one of the Springboks. So yeah.
Hectic.
So so that's the kind of environment that I grew up in, and I think it's because it was kind of the one thing that I struggled with that I ended up doing all right in, and now I'm known for being funny and writing, which is not something I was particularly skilled at school either. It's kind of weird when you're at school, you realize like, these are not things that you're good at, but then once you leave school, I feel like school tries to like teach you certain things that make you just like a program for like the civilization that you're in. Yes, and then once you get, yes, these are the skills that will be useful in the civilization once you get into which is fucking untrue, by the way. That's total crock of shit. And then once you get outside of it, yes, and then for some bizarre reason you take an interest in something that wasn't learned to you at school. Like, oh look, this is the thing that I'm for some bizarre reason good at that no one in the fucking schooling system actually told me was interesting. Like, hey, you will like and take an interest in power and monarchy, and like, why wasn't I taught this? Yeah, because there's no interest in this. Yeah, but fuck you, I like this. Someone teach me this weird thing that I'm for some bizarre reason good at, and that's basically how I landed into that whole weird puddle. It's someone told me this is the thing that you can be good at. Like, basically the only reason I did this is because at some point someone said to me, if you don't do something with your voice, you're wasting your life.
No, dude, you have a fucking amazing voice. When I heard you the first time, I was going like, wait, fuck, man, like is this like, does the Mauler have like a side channel where he talks politics? Because like you and like Mauler really just have, and I'm going like, and I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but I kind of work in the sort of music industry recording vibes, and it's like, I mean, I'm going like, fuck, you guys sound, is this so good? But then it was with the Afrikaner voice, and I'm going, you are fucking South African. So like, if I may ask, just on the thing, I mean, you don't have to obviously we don't want to give personal details away, but you're like you mentioned you're back in the country now, like from living there for ages, and now you're in South Africa, and you kind of said, I mean, you moved back because like just you got over it, or
I think family wanted to move back, and I didn't want to be alone in Europe.
No,
That's basically the reason. I'd rather be near my family than, because I don't have any allegiance to the Irish people. I have a European passport, and I suppose that's handy, and I can go back to Europe and live in the EU. But if I would ever do that, I don't know where I would go to. Probably the Netherlands.
I mean, listen, I feel
like I could learn Dutch.
I've never been to Ireland. I've never been to Ireland. I would love to go. I mean, I was in London for like a month, and I hated it. I fucking hated every second of it. And I was in Berlin for like Berlin and Hamburg, and I was like, bro, I can totally live in Hamburg. It just, the only thing about it is that like as a South African, I was going like, wait, so everything's free? Like you can just get on the train, no one checks. No checks, but you just have to be honest. I'm going, fuck. My like South African vibe of like, oh, so no one's looking. I can just do what I fucking want to. Like, but it was also weird. I mean, you talk about the sort of rules that society have. I got shouted at the first day I was there. I was in a suburb and I crossed the street and there was some old lady who was just blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what is she saying? And she's like, oh, no. She's like, you can't cross the road. You have to go there to the zebra crossing. I was like, there's not a fucking car in the road. Right? And I'm going, oh, this is fucking stupid. And then now driving in Cape Town with taxis, and like I literally killed 6, 7 to almost 10 people every fucking morning because people just fucking walk across the road. And I'm going, maybe there's something about these rules that there's a give and take that we should maybe
there's an order about. The order's there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's like maybe the people that have been there for like 60 years maybe know something that I don't.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, for generations, like it's evolved to that. But if I could ask you a question, like on the monarchy thing, I mean, because I was thinking about it this morning, I'm going, how the fuck would that work in like hypothetically in this place like South Africa? Like the only kind of monarchy you'd have here would be the fucking Zulu king, right, or something like that. Like and then
I think the Zulu king would be a better ruler than the current regime, though. I don't think that's not really a high bar, though.
No, but you say it and I go like, well,
the Zulu king walks out of a BMW. The Zulu king walks out of a BMW with like tribal gear on, which is hilarious. Like that's just a total boss move. You can dislike his politics all you want, but it's really funny to hear him go like, "Yeah, the ANC is shit. You should listen to Afrikaners." It's like, well, he's got some sense more than the ANC. It's. But I don't think like in our society I said to people, like, this is probably not a good idea to say. I said to people several years ago, I said, okay, look, if I was going to do this in South Africa, what I would do is I would go, well, you people don't like colonialism, so clearly you don't like water. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the coastline, starting from the Western Cape and going like all the way to like the end of PE, just wall this off, right? Just like get tanks at the border, screw all of you, right? And we're going to get like the British pound as a currency because fuck off. You may as well get the euro the pound because we're Europeans. And we're just going to basically do not like apartheid again, but just like anti-ANC is going to be our like rulership. Let's just fuck that shit and just do that. I feel like the country would be immeasurably better off if you went like one rule we have here is that fuck the ANC. That's going to be our like regime rule.
That's our political party. Just fuck the ANC.
Yeah, it's like I feel like the rest of it, if you just had like this is we don't like the ANC and we're just gonna do everything that the ANC doesn't do. So competent government and don't be a fuckwit. That I feel like Afrikaners would just do well. If you just give Afrikaners land and go like you're safe, just live how you do. We were like, all right, fine. We don't need to be told what to do because we've been doing it for like 300 years now.
Yeah,
we don't need code. And the code's there. Just leave us alone, and we'll be fine.
And speaking of like kind of like this, right? What are your thoughts on this whole the referendum with the Cape and that stuff? I mean, obviously,
that's a pipe dream.
No, but that's also what I thought. I was like going like when I saw the votes, I was going at the beginning. I'm going like, yeah, maybe like like in Utopia, kif, like the fuck on an island, but like no one's gonna fucking
like
vote
how,
for that. How?
If you had a lot of muscle and like an army, and you weren't like, yeah, we're actually gonna do this by force and fuck the voting because we actually have the arms to do something about it. I would think like that's maybe the way to go, but considering the amount of money that's in the Cape, I don't think if you went independent from the rest of the country, that would go down very well.
Yeah, no, it won't.
No,
Oh, you're right.
it's
But
like
also,
it's
like,
like
I
if
mean,
California were to go in independent. Actually,
but I
no,
mean,
that's
they
a bad
couldn't. Who's
example
going
because
to
I feel like
fight?
many people would be okay with that.
Yeah,
No,
but
I think the rest of
if
the country would be like, you want to be independent? Fine, fuck California.
yeah, fuck off. But also, like,
If Texas
if they
did it, they
went
may
like,
get mad.
no, but I mean, Texas, you couldn't stop them, right? Like Texans, they decided, listen, we're on our own now. Like, what's America going to do? Fuck all.
Yeah, Lone Star
It's like
State.
every
We
single
have all the
person's got a
guns. Fuck
gun.
you.
Like, fuck off. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah,
Yeah, it's
what are you going to do, bitch?
Texans will probably enjoy that because there's a stereotype that I've known about Texans is that if you ask any American where they're from, they will say America. But if you ask a Texan where they're from, they'll say Texas before they say America. And it's like a
No, that's
uniquely
true.
Texan thing because I've met Texans
Yeah.
and they will confirm it's like, yeah, that's absolutely true. We are Texans before we're Americans. I don't know why. I think it's probably because they were the last state because they called the Lone Star State for that reason. So
Yeah.
they have a very strong state identity, more so than anybody else, I think, except for maybe like Florida because, you know, they'll just throw gators at you and say, fuck off, as is the case with Floridians.
Fuck.
So, yeah, that's the state of the world that we live in. I would like to see a monarchy in South Africa. To be
But I mean,
interesting.
how would you fucking implement that? Like, I mean, like,
I'll be a dictator.
What?
I don't think it'll be a monarchy in our time. It'll be like a very psychotic, brutal dictator.
but I mean, the thing is, and this is the thing is like I was thinking about this whole thing the other day. I'm going at what point do you've got this like South Africans, right? They're like, fucking bro, you know, stories of Slag van Boetlevier and all the shit. You had these like dudes who were like hard fucking core, right? They were like, listen, I'm not taking
Yes.
cuck. Like attacked by, you know, how many 60,000, 100,000 Zulus, and they were like, you know, a couple of dudes in Oxwagon made a circle and went, fuck you guys, you're getting fucked, right? And like,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. At what point how far do you have to fucking push a motherfucker? Because this is the thing I say to some people sometimes, going, yeah, I mean, like, I don't really know of any like scary, not Australians, like, you know, like people from other cultures. Like, yeah, there's nobody really scary. Or look at all the scariest people. It's like, you know, Hitler,
Polynesians.
you know, Stalin, this type of shit. It's like you push white people too far, they'll fucking nuke you, right? So like no one else is going to do that. So I'm just going like, at what point, how far do you have to push Afrikaner people before they go, listen, you know, we're going to band together now and just go get fucked? But it's like, it almost feels like the balls of South Africans have kind of been slightly removed, or I don't know. It almost feels like that chutzpah of like, fuck you, you won't take the shit that you can find in the sort of the Texan vibe. I don't feel like a lot of that in South Africans anymore. Like
I don't think that's in the Americans either.
No, but just like we were
I
talking
think the
about this whole
Americans have
thing
it the least.
like the thing with the Texans going like, you know, like, yeah, you won't take my shit, you know. But again, like then you compare it to COVID and you go, well, maybe not really. But I mean, like, I just feel, how far do you think you need to push a group of people where they go, listen, like, you guys can get fucked, right? Come fucking take it. Get my
I thought a sort of interesting sort of scenario was the Charlotte Hendricks case from the woman who just said the N-word to the man who threatened her. That was an interesting result. I still see people trying to say like, oh, she's racist. I'm like, she just raised almost $1 million. Like, your racist doesn't work. Like, we are fed up and we don't fucking care anymore. And I've noticed there are some smarter black people that are looking at that going like, we see the wind from the trees, don't push them. Because if they get uppity again and you push white people's back to the walls, our retaliation is in the form of global war. We don't do local.
No, but
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
if you push us to a scale, we will conquer and just say, no. We make the rules. We are the iron law. Fuck off.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, like we bombed your harbor. Okay, we're going to bomb your entire fucking country. Generationally, you're fucked, right? It's like,
yeah, don't mess with us.
Yeah.
So I get worried because I see, especially Afrikaners, because I know other people when they swear, it's like, yeah, it's cute, but if an Afrikaner says fuck yo, and like, don't mess with him. Like, it's just like, Afrikaners who swear, I may be an Afrikaner, but like, shit scares me.
Yeah, no.
Like, if an Afrikaner who's 100 kilos who says like fuck yo, it's like, don't go near him. He will tear your head off, quite literally. Don't mess with us. Don't. As an Afrikaner, when we get sweary and angry, we look psychotic. Just don't.
No, no, but I mean, it's like, but that's the thing is, I think it's like I think they've been put into this. Is it because of like apartheid and people feel sort of, and the same thing America,
Guilt.
like the case you just brought up with this vibe of this chick just going like, listen, to so far no further. Like, how far are you going to push it? Where you've got this, we've had what, like almost 40, 50 years of just like this entire narrative, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Where it's like, well, what? No one's allowed being racist, and racism bad, but fuck white people. I'm going like, but wait, hold on. That entire is completely opposing to your narrative of non-racialism, but it's totally fine to like push, well, you know, we need to end whiteness, slit its throat, and this is stuff that's coming from like academia in like, you know, Europe and America and shit. And you're going, but like how long before you can push it? But people just gonna go like, I don't fucking care anymore. And then that's what you're talking about. Like, people are starting to notice that and going, I don't care, don't fucking care. People are just gonna go, well, I'll fucking say it, now what? But the power's gone then,
my worries
right?
is when my worries is when it gets violent. Because I don't think you're going to stop a horde of angry Europeans. I don't think the state's going to really do much. If they decided to kick off in Boogaloo one day, we're like, okay, no. This is when, like, this is our threshold, and yeah. I'm not saying you get a beer hole Putzke, the German variety, but I'm just saying, don't push people that have historically built your society.
No, don't.
Like, maybe be nicer to them. Like, you know, the people that give you literally every single fucking thing that you use, your car, your electricity, the train, your plane, the internet, literally every bloody thing that you use. Like, maybe it'd be nice to the people that give you all of that and isn't giving you shit. Like, the people that just ask you, be nice and please leave us alone.
Yeah.
If people tell you to leave us alone and you don't leave them alone, if you say you hate them and they move from you and you still get closer, if they kick off and kick the shit out of you, I'm not going to be sympathetic. I will cheer and say, you got what you fucking deserve because they just told you to fuck off.
Yeah.
If you don't and you get your ass kicked, you got a fuck a warning.
Yeah. 100%.
That's fairly common sense.
And your notion of this sort of like, I mean, what, I can ask you this question, just your thoughts on it. The constant narrative of like, you know, because like the history of South Africa it's revisionist history to a degree, because everybody came here as a settler, black, white, everybody. Even the argument that the Khoisan were like they were native to here, they weren't really. They were a nomadic tribe who, like, you know, moved along with the seasons all the way up. So nobody was here. But like, why?
Yeah, the blood and soil. The blood and soil thing is just completely dependent on the group that you support. It's not real, you know. For example, you can say, for example, if you take a look at use America, for example, is that there's a whole bunch of Native American tribes, and before the white man decided to show up, they weren't all singing holding hands and singing Kumbaya. They were kicking the shit out of each other,
fucking killing each other, massacring each other.
Yes, exactly. And so when the Europeans come and do the exact same fucking thing, like, oh, who are they? Like, they're better. That's what they are. They conquered and built civilization, and you were in fucking teepees smoking shit. They built civilization, and they were just objectively better than you. You can get pissy about it, or you can say thankful that they didn't eradicate the rest of you fuckers, because we could have. The only reason any of you exist is at our benevolence. You do realize that, right? If we ever one day decide we've had enough of this, and we decided, no, your whole morality is currently against our desire to, I don't know, live peacefully. Because you can live a lot more peacefully if no one's fucking hassling you constantly. And the way that we can do that is through, I don't know, violence. And should that day come, I'm exactly not going to go like, well, I couldn't see this coming for 60 fucking years.
But so when do you think it gets there? I mean, like, speaking of that, I mean, like, this entire thing with Cyril going to see fucking President Trump. I mean, like, I saw the video of him afterwards where I was like, fuck, this guy doesn't look like he went in and fucking won an argument. It's like, I saw the video. There was this video clip of Cyril Ramaphosa post the White House meeting, and he gives this thing, and he just looks terrible. It's almost like Trump went, listen, this is where you live. This is your kid's house. Yada, yada, yada. Start doing shit and making shit better. Just fucking try and act like it. I mean, do you think anything good will come from this thing where finally, in 50 years, you have a grown-up going, guys, you need to fuck it, or 36 years, you need grown-ups come into the room going like, we need to fucking stop now.
I think he's more worried about what those around in the ANC will think of him.
Yeah, that's also fucking
Because
true.
yeah, I think it's more the case of I have to do something, and the people around me are not going to be fans of that. But if I don't, I'm fucked.
Yeah,
Because they depend on a lot of the American sort of imports and dollars,
yeah,
and the whole thing's been cut. And I'm not exactly a fan of that sitting in South Africa, because you can cut money, but some of that
Yeah.
money is still going to make its way to the people. Now, to be fair, I will say if you give any money to the ANC, it's just going to get squabbled on the ANC. So
yeah,
cutting their funding, it does sort of make sense. But they will just do whatever they can to get money in their own pockets again. It's not going to affect the people.
yeah. They'll go anyway. They'll.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw
Yeah.
Cyril fucking begging to every single political leader during the fucking the G20, right after Trump put the tariffs. Like they had the thing here, and trying to make deals. Like they're trying to fucking find money wherever the fuck they can.
Yeah. Maybe get Elon Musk to investigate. I don't know, Starlink. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because maybe it require competent people, and the only people that would work with that kind of shit that he does is Afrikaners, because the only ones that have the gene to work that shit are them. You can't freaking, economic black empowerment, Elon Musk, Starlink. That's just the fucking reality. You can say,
Yeah.
oh, it's terribly oppressive. Motherfucker, I don't care if it's oppressive. It's just fucking reality. Who built
Yeah.
civilization in South Africa? It was the Dutch.
I mean,
it was the Germans. It was the French.
Yeah. Do you get? I mean, like, if I can ask you, do you get like a lot of fucking flack from sort of the woke South African, leftist?
I'd like to
ANC
see them
members? Do you get
try.
a lot of shit from that? But I mean, do you get just because I get these
No.
fucking just retarded fucking and it's all just vitriol. And it's like the argument that I get almost all the time is they're going, oh well, you're the sin, your sins, your evil past. I'm going like, fucking like me. What the fuck?
I would just say and.
I don't even give a fuck.
You were trying to
brilliant,
chastise me in a language that I invented.
Yeah. Fuck, that's.
I would just
that's-
my anyone who gives me shit on social media, it's like just by the way, you are a non-white living in a non-white country using technology, electricity, and the clothes on your back in a language all invented by my kin to shit talk me.
Yeah.
Check your privilege, motherfucker, and be thankful. Now fuck off. I will not be tolerant of some shithead who literally has his entire civilization is our products, and you are giving me grief. Be fucking grateful for once, and maybe shut up.
Fuck, that's fucking savage, though. But I mean, you're not scared of getting into cuck for that, right? Like,
what are they going to do?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but
these people can't fucking read a map without the internet, for God's sakes.
But I mean, there are psychopaths here. I mean, like the fucking.
Like knock them out with fucking Wi-Fi. If you take away their electricity and their phone line, they would not know how to be normal human beings. Like, you are the product of a morality of those around you. The reason I'm not worried about these people is they don't know how to do anything. Like, the same way that you see these people who go, oh, look, the Afrikaners are bad people. Like, motherfucker, I want you to look at your comment section. I guarantee you it'll be full of a bunch of wankers kissing your fucking ass. You don't know shit. You're just doing this for social signaling purposes. You do not know anything. As a matter of fact, I will bet my life, if you said this in front of an Afrikaner, you'd be tongue-tied and wet in your fucking pants. Because an Afrikaner will eat you alive. Have you seen the size of a farmer?
Yeah,
like, dude, bitch, your entire carapace would be fucking dumbbell curls.
No
one shit talks us to our faces.
It's really refreshing just to hear that. It's like, I think we've been so like numbed into not thinking. Just to hear someone say it, it's almost like I'm going like, is this wrong?
I get paid for it, so I have to. That's probably why. Yeah. Like, explain to us in Africa. Like, I will teach you the ways of my kin, the old ways, the 1950s ways. I explained to them in like, one video. I explained to them like the reality of like Hendrik Verwoerd, like the architect of apartheid. Like, this dude literally said the reason why you have apartheid is those people are not like us, and we should not force our ways on them. Like, they have their own culture, their own ways of being, and they're not like us. Like, why don't you just tell people that? Because that's the reality. Like, that is someone who recognizes that separation is how you preserve peoples and culture and how you avoid conflict, which is just true. Like, you can say it was done for moral for like morally ill reasons, but like that is any. I said to people in one of my videos, and I was on a live stream, and the guy quoted at me. He said, because I said, "What's the difference between segregation and nation-state borders, if not scale?"
I've heard you make this emphasis. Literally, when you said, I was going, fuck me, you've got me. Like, there is no difference.
Because it's the same thing.
There's no fucking. It's the exact same thing.
Yes.
It's just like we've imaginary line here, imaginary line between this. It's like, what's the difference?
Yes.
There is no fucking difference. There's zero difference between the two.
Yeah. The difference is just that who gets come in is based on race, and the other one is legality. But there's no reason why race can't also be in the legality. Because the thing of it is, a nation is its people. If you replace it, you are changing the entire landscape of the nation. It is in the interest of whoever runs the nation to protect its kin. Like, that is a defense of the nation state, is the people in it. So the preservation of capital and the genetic code of the region, people think is like horrifying. I'm like, no, that's just how any civilization works. Like this, like everything that I believe in, is a quote from Evola, it was just what any sane person prior to the French Revolution would just consider sane and normal. Because it is, like, our civilization is completely batshit fucking insane. I think, like, if you were to take, like, Jean Dumas or Joseph de Maistre, just any of the French defenders of absolute royalty in absolutist France, and you bring them into our civilization, just say, everyone has rights to vote to pick the leadership, I think they would look at us and go, our descendants are completely fucking insane. These people think everyone should be allowed to vote and put the people in office that the merchants put on the ballot. Like, oh my good God, our descendants are completely mad. Holy sweet Jesus Christ. What the hell have they done? And they're like, oh, by the way, you're on your fifth republic now. Like, what, the monarchy is gone? What, Jesus, what the fucking hell happened? I think they would legitimately think we're insane. Because our civilization, the way we run things from a historical perspective, is we are a fucking freak show. It doesn't work. It's completely insane.
But I mean, like, South Africa is a beautiful example of that. Like, I mean, nothing fucking happens. Like, nothing. Like, everything. Like, it's tied up in bureaucracy for 3-4 years before they can make a decision on doing anything. Like, I mean, like, you make a great fucking argument. I'm going. The first time I was going, I remember the first time I was reading chat, you go monarch. I get monarchist. I'm going, fucking monarchy, really? And then, like, I slowly started thinking about it, and then one or two videos, and going, well, fuck me, I can't believe it. Damn it. Fucking makes sense. Really fucking makes a lot of fucking sense. And then it's like, you just like accept that it's
monarchy
true,
is normal for people.
Yeah.
Because, like, everything in society runs like a monarchy. Your family is a monarchy. The rule of the father, like Andrew said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Businesses run like a monarchy. There's one CEO. He runs the entire show. Yes. Everything in society that works runs like a monarchy.
And the thing that doesn't work is not run like a monarchy, which is government, because it's fucked.
Yes, it's run like a democracy. Like, can you imagine any business where the lowest people gets to pick who runs the fucking company? No, that's insane. And we're going to do this with running a nation. That's fucking madness.
I mean,
but then everyone just... go on.
No, sorry. I was watching. I was just thinking about when, like, Andrew Wilson was debating this one chick where he made that argument. He going, like, fucking the whole thing that we're talking about, the debate thing, the chick with the fucking cock in her hair, and she was going, oh well, the fucking the
Rasta looking
blankets.
Bitch.
Yeah. There's like, oh, the pox blankets that they were given to the Indians. They were talking about like the whole voting thing, and he was going, like, yeah, it should. If you really want to do it, like, you should only have a certain part of the fucking people. I mean, I used to have this thing going, I've seen nothing fucking wrong with only taxpayers get to vote. They're the only ones invested in it. Why do the people why do 20 million people get to vote who just, like, they get to vote for other people to pay them more money? Like, why the fuck would you allow that? It's insanity.
If I just listen to how democracy is theorized to function, what people actually want is an aristocracy. Even by, like, how democracy is theorized to function. The reason I say that is the main reason that you want an informed population is to make informed decisions, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So how the hell do you have an 18-year-old make any decisions about politics? So why is the age of 18 suddenly... Yeah, exactly. So so what you actually want then, because if you don't want young people to vote, what you actually want is an educated population, right? Now, everyone cannot be educated. That's just a fact. Right.
Yeah.
So if everyone can't get educated, but you want educated population, what you actually want is like an aristocratic kind of government, but ruled by popular or enlightened people. It's like what you actually just want is an aristocracy. That's like what you actually want on paper. The reason why you want an informed people is so that they can make smarter decisions about who's in government.
100%. I don't want stupid people voting, and the same thing, that the argument we're going like, where a stupid person's going to nullify your vote, and we're going like, but why are they voting? Like, you know nothing about this country. Like, the only reason is because someone told you to. Like, it's just it's really fucking stupid.
Yes, and also the way that people get all their information is from government anyway.
Yeah, and
it's basically just a giant circle jerk.
Yeah, but then you can even take it further, because I've always had this thing about, like, the ANC government has put the pass rates down for a reason. All they have to do is go like, no, we'll give you free shit, and people go, oh, okay, cool. It's like, you have people living today, dude, that are still waiting because the ANC said they're going to give them a free house to this fucking day. And we're going like, at what year are you going to go like, well, I'm not going to fucking get one? Like, when does that reality kick into your brain and go like,
never?
Oh, maybe like it's not going to happen. It's just like, no, we will. Like, they said they will. It's like, oh my God, you can't fix that amount of stupid. And it's just, and I think the ANC is just, well, you know, perpetuate that. Yeah, sure. Like, you know,
because they get votes.
No, of course. That's the thing. It's like, we're keeping the population dumb so that we can stay in power. And they just like rape
very simple formula.
Taxpayer.
Yes.
Say again, sorry?
No, that's how democracy works. People think like South Africa is a unique example. Like, no, that's every democratic government. Why do you think everyone that goes to a university ends up voting Democrat?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, this is the difference now. And this is kind of what you're seeing with Trump, where he's acting like if you really think about it, he's acting like a king.
He's trying to.
Like, no, just like executive order. Fuck this, we're doing this, we're fucking doing this, we're going to and it's like, and he's acting like, it's a dictatorship. And you're going like, I kind of hated dictatorships, but kind of like this dictator. So it's like, I'm really making the best fucking argument for this.
Yeah, I'm not actually a particular fan of that, because I just look at no one actually talks about what makes for a competent statesman. They just talk about the like if you watch anything on CNN, everything is about how is this perceived in the eyes of the public. It's just like, well, this is what he's supposed to do, this is what he's allowed to do, and no one discusses what does actual competent government look like. I don't give a flying fuck about your judges, about your laws. I want, like, if I put this motherfucker in charge, how is he going to improve the country? If a judge is in his way, fuck him. I don't care if you have a roadblock in objectively good government policy. Fuck off. I don't give a shit about your checks and balances. I don't give a fuck about, well, he's not allowed to do this. I don't fucking care. Is it good policy? Yes or no? If it's yes, go for it. If it's not, then that's up to him. Yeah. For example, like, if he's the one that gets fucked up and does some dumb shit, then it's not your job to prohibit him. If you want to get him out of power, then let him do the dumb shit, because he'll be voted out of office for it.
Yeah, but I mean, just on that, I think I watched. I mean, my brain is, I'm dyslexic, but I think I watched a video of yours where you mentioned the fallacy of checks and balances or something, or you made a comment on the whole concept of checks and balances, that it doesn't really function or something.
Because the concept of checks and balances is you're relying someone in government to abide by like a certain protocol. Yes, but the problem of it is that that's literally everyone in government, and there's nothing that stops them from not doing that. Because if one person just says, I'm not going to do that, and they all just decided, we'll just work together, you'll just get to stay constantly growing and growing and growing. Because if someone in power isn't acting appropriately and you can't do anything about it, what you're going to do, you're going to send fresh newbies into an entrenched bureaucracy. They will just get sucked into it, because there's no way in hell a bunch of fresh amateurs are going to unseat an entrenched bureaucracy. That never works. So you're just constantly growing the thing on a scale until eventually someone goes in, like Trump, and goes, I want to start hammering at this thing because it's just in my fucking way and it's costing the taxpayer too much money. And the immediate response from everyone who's in power who wants to keep their jobs is, oh no, he's acting like a dictator. Yeah, but you're a useless fucking twat in there anyway. You're a parasite. Naturally, the person who wants to cull you is going to look dictatorial to you, because you're the one who's going to lose your fucking job. Of course. But in any other circumstance, you're a fucking twat. who does not deserve to be suckling at the fucking taxpayers' tits. You twat. Piss off. And that's like, and the person that comes in and goes, but the person that comes in, the case is always about, well, this person is overreaching their authority. Yeah, but the person who he wants to overreach and smack across the head is doing shit he shouldn't be doing anyway.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing. The entire branch of government got caught red-handed with their hands in the cookie jar, stealing billions. And at the same time, you have these people who are like, again, like, people who support Bernie, like, we're going to, like, cut spending, and again, like, well, hold on, like, they're just
you just want to spend more for money. Yeah.
No, fuck, it's wrong. It's sorry, but a lot of people going like, we need to cut this and cut that, and then like, okay, we found this massive black hole of just fucking spending, and they go, oh, it's
endless amount of money.
Elon's a Nazi, and then what the fuck? How? Where? What? How?
He's not a very good one.
There? No, he's the fucking worst Nazi
He wants to
ever.
import a shitload of Indians, by the way, so I don't know how he's a Nazi. I didn't really know the Third Reich was known for its Indian population making the tanks during the fucking Second World War. I don't know about you. I don't think the Indians could do Third Reich tech, by the way. I'm just saying. I think that's like some German shit only. Ah, yes, Mercedes-Benz built by people from Bombay. No, that's not true. Like, please stop this crap. It's cheap labor. It's not quality,
Yeah.
If you make cheap shit, obviously you get cheap people to make it.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the thing with, like, I mean, think about consumerism. It's like everything is shit. I mean, you were talking about buildings and stuff that they used to. I mean, remember, like, I saw a fucking, like, what is it, like a fridge from like 50 years ago.
Bro, the one with like insane like drawers and shit.
Yeah, I mean, going like then it's today. The fridge is from it's from 50, 60 years ago, and the thing, you puts a fucking weight in it. The thing still runs. You're going like, they just don't bullshit like they fucking.
What was it? The lady who takes like the cool vruchtendro out.
Yeah,
like,
she pulls the thing out.
Yeah. I looked at it like, can I get one of those? Like, that looks badass. I so want one of those. Like, just like a drawer that you can just hook out the fridge and put anything back in. Like, okay, it might be a bit heavy if you load it with like fucking watermelon and some shit. But I'm like, I want one of those.
No, dude, but that's the thing. It's like we just built things kind of better back then. It's like, and I mean, it's like,
it's because it was built to last.
Yeah, that's the thing. We built things to be better for like the embitterment of society. And you're going like, okay, cool. We're importing we got a cliff deal. The government's got a great deal with fucking China. We can import the cheapest shit ever. And it's like, oh, fuck the people.
You have to pay for like every 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're just gonna
that fridge that was built in 1960. They go, it costs more. Like, yeah, because it will survive nuclear holocaust. That's why 5 decades later, it still fucking runs. That's the reason why it costs so much fucking money. It's because it's a bloody lifetime investment. It'll fucking outlive your relatives, for God's sakes. Like, this is not a fridge. It's a fucking tank. Look, we just lobbed grenades at it and it still fucking works 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Like, that's
the war breaks out, you're fucking hiding in that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Stops grenades, bro.
I still look at that fridge like, God damn, that's a cool looking fridge. I wouldn't mind having one of those.
Bro, I was going like, I mean, I had like the other day I noticed like there's like 2 dings on the bottom of my fucking fridge. And I'm like, what the fuck is this from? It's like, I just took the broom and tapped it. And it's like, oh, no, a third one. I'm like, piece of shit.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. Dude. Anyway, I mean, I don't want to keep you too long. I've got one last question for you. Your thoughts on the fucking, I mean, I think we maybe touched it a little bit, but like your thoughts on the entertainment world, because I've noticed you did quite a few videos on the drinker and Nerd Riot and shit like that. What are your thoughts of the fucking indoctrination via through Hollywood? Like, what do you think? Is entertainment ending soon, or like, I don't know, what the fuck?
I think it's going to be a bit of a weird period because government tends to act quickly because it's based on voting, but that saying of culture is downstream from power. I think entertainment is a very good way to look at that because while everyone thinks, oh, look, it's the culture that got Trump elected. No, motherfucker. The moment Trump got back into office, everyone was like, well, entertainment is going to be different now. I'm like, okay, so it's the opposite way around then. If you think Trump being in office is going to change entertainment, then it's the cultural vibe of the person in power doing that. It's not the other way around.
Yeah, that is true as well. Fuck it.
Yes. And so I'm more curious as to there's going to be political resistance. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. That's going to be the case. And games are going to take a while because games take a lot longer to do than games take longer to make than movies.
But do you think they're like, because the thing is this, we've had this fucking, what, like 10 years, because like you just said, it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years to make a fucking proper game. But this constant notion of pushing leftist ideology via fucking like gaming, cinema, TV series, movies.
Oh, I've a really easy way to get rid of that.
What?
I have an easy way to get rid of that. There's a very simple way to fix gaming.
How?
Get rid of women. That's just true. Like, can you like think of all the shit that is currently pushed right now? It's pushed by women.
It's feminism.
If you just say, listen here, honey, shut the fuck up. I don't care about your opinion. Your worldview is retarded, and so are you. Fuck off. This is for men and men only. The thing of it is,
the biggest gamers.
If you spoke like that to women, they will respect it. Because women have this constant need of like, I must antagonize to see how much I can get away with. If a man just says like, no, fuck off, I'm putting my foot down, you will obey because I'm the man, you're the woman, and what I say goes. Women will respect that shit because women don't want some liberalistic little fag that panders to them. They don't respect that shit. Women respect power and strength, first and foremost. Why do you think women pick the bear?
The bear is scary every time. It's like,
yes. Because the reason why women are attracted like psychopathic people is because the psychopathic person can maybe protect them. But the limp-wristed fucker can't do shit.
No.
A woman will always respect someone that scares the shit out of them. Women want men that are better than them.
Yeah.
This is always like old school thing of like, oh, you should get a woman that's better for you. No. You want a woman that knows a bloody place and know you're better. Because they'll respect that. They don't respect lesser people.
Yeah. But I mean, like, do you think the gaming companies have the fucking balls to do that and go, listen, we're gonna like, I mean, because I mean, I looked at like, you know, oh, sorry, no problem. Because I just had this, I remember having this thought about, Sean, you remember like back in the day when they show the video, the photograph of the guys who did, you know, what was it, Assassin's Creed, and it's this whole bunch of these nerds, and then you see a photo of the design team and the writing team that's doing it now, and it's just chicks, and you're going,
it's like full, like just a whole bunch of feminists and blue hair,
and then the games all suck and it doesn't work, and people are going, well, we're not going to buy this because it's just absolute crap. But do you think? But the thing is this: I'm always going, does their ideology outweigh the fact of them being employed? I'm just like, I don't understand. This is the thing I'm seeing with Hollywood. I'm going, you've got these.
And they see that's how a man thinks.
Yeah.
Men think rationally.
But I mean, is that the thing?
Women think they can change the world. Okay. Here's the reason. Here's the reason why. It's because the way that men think, men look at reality and go, we have to deal with reality the way it is.
Yeah.
Women are hardwired to take care of little children and to get food. So when that natural drive is not fulfilled, they try to change everything else around them. Everything else around them becomes a child. That is how women see the world. That is why every single one of these stupid bitches who look at this shit don't have men in their lives. They don't have children. They're surrounded by cats and cat piss. That's their fucking worldview. Like, you look at them and go, every single one of you, the reason why you're in this position is because you're ugly as shit and you can't get dick. There's a reason why it's called fucking sense into you, because you don't have any without dick. That is a joke, but it's fucking true.
Yeah.
Women without men around them to tell them what to do believe in insanely stupid shit.
But you reckon that's the reason why they'll make this idiotic idea of like, cool, we're going to push the thing we believe in, and the thing we believe in outweighs the fact of me being able to bring the bacon home and fucking earn a living, because, you know, in 3 years' time I'm going to be unemployed because no one's buying the fucking game. But does that not,
I don't think they don't even think of it that way. They're not in for the money, they're in for the prestige. They think I'm changing the world. It doesn't make it, to you, it doesn't make any sense because we just think that's retarded. But that's how, because it's insane. But they think of like, oh, look, my name is on this thing and this is how I can be seen. That's how they view it. Is look at me, I'm in this thing. Like, why do you think all these self-inserts exist in these like fucking TV shows and games? It's because no fucking man worth his sense would listen and look at any of those women. They live vicariously through the fucking self-inserts.
It's the same opinion where they want to, it's their agenda that I've got this project now, let me shove my agenda into this, instead of just like, I want to tell a good story, good game. It's irrelevant. It's
why do you think why do you think
around.
all those attractive women in the games never look how they do on like their modeling shots?
Yeah.
Because those women damn well knows if the model looks like the person that's actually the model, all the men will go look up the fucking model.
Yeah.
And look at her. And not the fucking person writing the fucking story. Women compete for please look at me.
Yeah,
women hate other attractive women. Well, the insecure ones. The attractive women though, like
literally just browse Instagram, 100%. You find that.
Yeah. No, it's fucking true.
You want to make a woman go insane, go like, look, she's more attractive than you. They will like start fucking world wars over that shit. Men will just go, yeah, he's a handsome guy, whatever.
Yeah.
Like men are not insecure. Like men are insecure. Like it's so weird because like men can look at a guy who's like jacked and go like, he looks great. We should go hit the gym. Like that's what we see. Like we don't look at it as competition. You look at it like that's an ideal to admire.
Yeah.
Women don't see that way. Women are like, that bitch is competition. Fuck it. That's how they. It's a completely different world for men. I actually made a joke video. I said the way that if I was an alien and I came down and I looked at the beauty standards, I would think our society is incredibly sexist towards women because all the representation for women are just like fat, ugly bitches, and all the men look like fucking titans. Like every guy is like Jack Sixpack, like holy shit, our society glorifies men. Look how we're supposed to look. Whereas you all look like fucking genders I can't even decide except for the coin flip. Society is not pro women, it's pro men. Look at the men. Look at all the examples of men. It's like fucking Jack dude, six-pack abs, broad shoulders. Like, wow, we're supposed to look like this. That's a high ideal that we can reach. Whereas all you women look like you've let yourselves fucking go.
Yeah. Society
is not against men. It's very pro men. It's just, if you look at it through my way, it makes way more fucking sense. And it's a lot funnier.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Spoon is my new spirit animal.
Bro, like but I loved it. I love being challenged on like fucking. That's the one main thing about this, and this is what I found with fucking Andrew and at the beginning with Sargon and now you. It's like you challenge sort of like things I thought like, well, this is but freedom, free speech. And we're going, motherfucker, and it's like I have no issue about being wrong about these things, which I find a lot of people on the left or wherever they like, and this is what you see with the chicks on the when Andrew debates, like they just why can't you just rationally go, because you're going to say they're not fucking rational, but like, cool, you've challenged a concept I had. I'm going like, well, I'm going to change my concept now. That's the only rational.
It's because you're not. It's because you're not wedded to it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's because the way this is something that I get quite a lot from people is that they will tell me that they could always sense something was wrong, and I was the person that connected the dots for them. Basically, I was like the Morpheus to their Neo.
Yeah, 100%. There's something wrong with the world.
Because it isn't like, oh my god, I'm completely turned upside down. It's more just like, oh no, that makes sense now.
Yeah, that was 100%. We're like, what's the thing? It's like.
Yes, and women don't do that. To women, it's like a complete 180 of everything they knew. That's the reason why it's completely horrifying for them.
But also the thing is, and this is just how it is. Women hate being wrong about stuff, which is why they're like they act like they will like. You have an argument with women, like what's the trope and the thing is like, wow, just tell your woman she's right. It's like, no. I have a massive ego, and I'm not going to do that. I am not going to tell a woman that she's right when she's wrong, because A, that would be dishonest, and B, I don't do dishonesty very well. South Africans tend to not do dishonesty. I've noticed, I think it's a very much a South African thing to be. One reputation I've noticed that we have across the board is either we are very nice and very mannerly, or we are polite, brutally blunt to the point of rude. Yeah.
Like South Africans don't know how to be anything except like, we'll just tell you what we think of you to your face. And I've probably like, people don't like, in Europe, people don't appreciate that. And in Europe, people are like more conservative and like, no, we don't do that. Yeah. If we think you're a prick, we'll just tell it to your face. Like, you kind of annoy the fuck out of me sometimes, you know that? Yeah, it's
no, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's I realized when I was abroad, like, oh, that's like a thing that we're known for. Yeah. Like, there's no middle ground. It's either you like us or you can't stand us.
Yeah.
It's like South Africans are never okay. It's like, oh, they're great or they're complete bastards. Like, yeah. kind of goes depending on how you feel about my honesty. If you like my honesty, you'll like me. If you don't, you'll think I'm an asshole.
But that's the thing. It's like I remember this in the beginning. I was watching a lot of Andrew, right? And fucking my wife would come in and she's like, fucking, he's just being a cunt to everyone. I'm like, but no, wait, you didn't hear his argument. This is like a typical woman thing. And then eventually later on, the more she'd like sit on the other side of the room doing her thing, and she'd hear, yeah, it kind of makes fucking sense. But just on principle, she's like, no, he's just being a dick. The Tone Police vibe, right? Yeah. But it's just funny watching eventually go, well, you know, fucking actually does make sense. Like, yeah, he's fucking doing this stupid skank, fuck her, you know, like, and I'm going, yeah, you know, it just takes time. It takes more time with women.
Yeah, the thing is, if he was nice and limp-wristed, women wouldn't respect him. It is the brutality that gets the attention.
100%. That is the thing, and that's why you've got the insta fucking, like, you know, like he calls them the sewing circle Christians. You're like, oh, he's just mean. He's just mean. I hate him because he's mean. What did he say that was wrong? No, it's just the way he says it.
Nothing. I just don't like how he says it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is dumb. It's like, but the reason you're listening is because of the way he fucking says it. That's why we're all listening. Because it's fucking honest. And that's what I appreciate about you, bro. Like a lot of the stuff you said, like I'm just laughing because it's like, what? It's actually refreshing to just hear someone say it out loud. And you're going like, fuck, are we allowed to say that? Fuck, are we allowed to say that? I'm just going like, well, it's
everyone wants to actually hear that.
Honest. No, that's true though. They want to hear it, but it's like but because the other side goes, oh, then you're this. And this is one thing I do find, maybe it's an Afrikaner thing, I think, but very, very, they're scared to be accused of something. It's like, oh, well, but I'm totally not that. It's
really?
Like, yeah, but fucking, no, I've kind of noticed it with like, maybe like my Afrikaans family. They're like, you know, they're like, how would I put it?
Too polite?
Yeah, they're like, the thing is that you just mentioned, like Afrikaners.
Reserved is the word you're looking for.
Reserved, but they're also very polite, and it's like, you know, they don't want to offend somebody, but they'll be straightforward.
That's very English.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of, it feels more English. Yeah,
it's more of an English trait. To be the polite and don't want to cause a fuss. That's very English.
I
think that's probably more of an English trait. Yeah.
But don't you think? I think this is like, they fucking Afrikaans, right? So like, I mean, don't you think that's this years of just going like, somehow the indoctrination maybe worked a little bit. We're like, you know, we just, you know, once say don't fuss, but like, you know, behind closed doors, like, fuck that. But like, you know, in polite.
I wonder if that's maybe a post-90s thing, because I still have the whole like blunt thing is like, no, I took like my 90s childhood into like Europe at the age of 10. I'm like, no, like this basic Afrikaner code, I'm basically gonna nurse in an environment where I don't care, and I'm probably a known South African as far as YouTube is concerned, because most people know where I'm from, because I have to tell people, because the amount of people who say you're English, I'm like, no, I'm a boer. I'm not fucking English just because I sound like this. Ek kan Afrikaans praat, dan jy hoor ek is nie Engels nie. Then they're like, oh yeah, you actually speak the second language. Like, yeah, because that's where I was born. So occasionally I got to throw it out like that. But yeah, no, I do definitely think that might be that might actually be something that came in like the post 2000 world, because I don't really have that. I don't really have that filter.
I noticed that with a lot of people. It's like, you know, not just in the farming community, like Afrikaans people in general feel very polite these days. But I think it's like, I think it's the society we live in, where it's like, yeah, your words can get you fucked, right? It like literally can. In no other society can that happen. Well, I mean, but South Africa specifically.
Just in mine, it gets me paid.
But this is also why I love the fact of like, people go, this is not an anonymity. I'm like, listen, I want people to be able to be anonymous. I support it. It's like, I like to fucking be like someone needs to be able to say these things. And look at what the media did with that twatted boss. They like literally wanted to fuck him just because he was saying or pushing some things that they just didn't like hearing. It's like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna fucking show you. It's the fucking hand of the government. It's like they're strong arming him.
I'm not a fan of showing my face, because I've done it once and I didn't like the reaction.
No, dude, you don't like it completely. Like, I mean, I remember like the same thing with Maul in the beginning. I was like, but like, that's fine. Fuck it. He doesn't have to. You don't want that fucking.
I like his avatar.
Vibe. No, I do love his avatar. Like, I love the fact that it keeps changing. And the Christmas, there's like the little I've
had a bunch of people tell me I should do a show with him about Futurama, because apparently he's a big Futurama nerd, and so am I. And people just say, get in touch with Maul and do a Futurama show. I'm like, yeah. I think we would also sound very much alike, because if I speak calmly, him and I sound quite a bit alike.
No, you do, dude. Like, no, I think he was the one that actually, like, was it him that kind of inspired me? I think there was one video I watched where he went this whole vibe like, oh, he tried really hard, and then he just went, fuck it, I'm just going to start making stuff, even if people don't fucking like it. I'm going, like, fuck, fine, I'm just going to.
Yeah, he made like a 4-hour video of just.
Yeah, bro, like I'm going like, yeah, like everybody's like, that's stupid, no one will watch it. Bro, I enjoyed his review more than I did the fucking movies, and I watched the entire thing.
That's kind of a thing with Waller. Yeah. I've also I have a lot of respect for people who can do like the long form videos, because like that is a chore to fucking edit. Like you have no idea. I did one video over an hour, and that was just because somebody pissed me off. And I don't like when someone's listening on, so I'm like, I am going to crucify you, you son of a bitch. And then he like pulled up my old tweet where I said the N-word. I'm like, do you think this worries me? I'll fucking. I did a Rumble video because I obviously can't do it on YouTube. I just went through all the times I said the N-word on Twitter, and like here, I'll go through a video over all of them. I'll tell you what I said. I don't fucking care.
Brilliant. That's fucking brilliant.
Like, you can't threaten me like, oh look, you're racist. Like, motherfucker, I'm a South African. What do you think? I'm not remotely worried about that. That's not an offense that concerns us. But we've been getting this since like 1985. Fuck off.
I've been called racist, I think, 5 times today. I don't even know what I said, but like I'm being labeled it anyway.
We exist.
Might as well start end dropping.
Yeah, I've actually said it most of the times I've said it like at like white politicians.
Yeah.
It's because it's like I think I've called Piers Morgan that a few times. He deserves it though, because he is one.
Fuck yeah, he does fucking annoy me a little bit. I've actually been looking at his thing the whole time, because that Pratt, fuck that beanie, triple beanie wearing dumb shit is apparently got invited to talk about the Afrikaans. I'm like, I really want to go see when this actually comes out. No, the fucking one. Idiot South African beanie wearing.
Everyone says beanie, and I also think of Tim Pool.
No, it's what's Dan Corder? He's doing. Apparently, he got invited. Like, he's the fuck. Who can he relate to as an American? He's just a fucking prat though. But like Dan Corder was a radio DJ, and he's got that fucking show on. Got that SABC show, just like fucking talking. And every time he does a video, he's got like 3 beanies on top of each other, and he's like raging leftist. I
don't even know who he is.
Bro, go look at stuff. Fuck me. If God, I would love you to do a fucking video about him or something. Go watch. Just go. Just pop in and look at some of his content. Fuck me. Just shoot me. Oh my God,
dude, that jawline screams eat food. Like, it's
yeah, no, dude. He literally needs to eat.
He looks like the kind of person who can swallow a pelican whole.
But apparently, so Piers Morgan reached out after the whole. I think it was on Monday. He tweeted something about got invited.
Oh God, he's a South African version of David Pacman.
There we go. Fucking that's the great one. Fucking spot on. Exactly. He's been invited, and he's going to go talk to fucking Piers, one of those panel things about fucking the South African white genocide bullshit. Now,
Piers, how about you let a proper Afrikaner on there?
Dude, like, they should have gotten Aaron's, what's the guy's, not Aaron's Roots, the other one, the guy from Afriforum, Aaron's van Sale. Dude, that guy's pretty fucking well versed in the entire thing, and fucking just, I hope they got him on. I don't know who else.
Oh, but they want honest Afrikaners there. They want the bitch ones that like, oh, we'll just say the nice polite things. Like, hey, how about you get someone who's honest? Get one of the guys from Urania there.
Yeah. I mean, I think Piers, Richard Lemmer said like Piers Morgan dropped 2 hours ago. Was it the one with the South African stuff? Fuck, I actually want to go. Oh, Aaron's Roots was on. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go check that. Oh, fuck yeah, bro. That beanie dude fucking annoys the shit out of me. He's got, honestly, just like the most typical dumbest fucking takes. He did a whole thing where he debunked whether the race laws were actually racist. It's like the reason they're not racist is because redress magically makes it not so. So there we go. Problem solved.
I'm kind of curious as to it's like, why don't you bring Julius Jalema on your show to ask him what the chance about? Good fucking question. Yes,
that would be awesome. Listen,
Dan Cordy, you present us very well. I'm generally kind of curious as to what would happen if you bring on an actual Afrikaner on the show. Not like the PC ones you see that always have a group advocate. It's like an average Afrikaner, not me, because I'm not average. Yeah. I will say some wild shit, and I will see how uncensored your fucking show really is.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee the shit I would say would not be fucking allowed on your damn show. Like, I would say some wild shit, and I damn well know it wouldn't just be like, well, this isn't true. Like, yes, it fucking is, you absolute asshole. I would be very mean on Pierce's show. Like, I would not be polite. I would, like, I would get very realistic with him and just tell, like, listen here, motherfucker. Who built that country? Who built the infrastructure? Who put it together? Why is everyone in that country right now speaking fucking English? How are you and I able to have this goddamn conversation in a native tongue?
Yeah.
Who did that? Who is giving you the fucking Wi-Fi that I'm able to have this conversation with you right now? Who's maintaining it? If all the Afrikaners were to go, what would happen to South Africa? Would it look like, I don't know, Singapore or Zimbabwe?
It would look like fucking Zimbabwe. We fucking know.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the truth.
Yes.
But it's the truth no one wants to fucking acknowledge or accept. It's like...
Yes. Huh? And if it was only Afrikaners, it would be a world superpower.
Yeah, it would.
Yes, because one thing I've noticed about everyone about Afrikaners is for some bizarre reason, South Africans punch way above their weight. Don't know why. Maybe it's because we're a mix of French, German, and Dutch.
Spoon, I don't want to keep you too long. Dude, thank you so much. I mean, it's fine if I don't want to keep you too long. We can, call it ended here. But I just want to, like, anybody that isn't following you, I think Gavin has dropped it. But it's basically the Aristocratic Utensil on X and on
I know it's
YouTube.
A very pretentious name.
No, it's fucking awesome.
Do you want to know why I picked
it.
that name?
No,
I'll be honest with you. The only reason why I picked that name is because my channel before is just called Spoon, and that's very difficult to find.
Yeah,
and also when I made an intro, it like just Spoon on the screen just looked very boring. It just looked very plain. Like, I need something that's gonna like identify the channel, not so much me, but like like Razorfist has the Rageaholic instead of just Razorfist. So I went like, I need something that is gonna grab attention and that is searchable. And I went just like what is my well, he's an aristocratic utensil. So why just do that? It's like the aristocratic utensil. I put it in the Art Deco font and I had like the slides and like, yeah, there we go. It's nice and simple. And then after a while,
I love it.
Yeah, people are like, oh my goodness, we really like this. I'm like, thanks. I didn't really think of it. I just wanted an intro to set the mood, and then you have like the Bioshock background and the old artistic. Yeah,
I'm a fucking massive
and that just became my
honestly like huge fan of your shit, dude. Like I'm pissed off that I only found you now, because it's like everything is up my alley. Like every time I watch something, I'm like, and I love being challenged on a belief that I had, and it's every time I'm watching something, I'm going, fucking hell, damn it, he's right, suck a dick, And it's
I'm
like,
slowly trying to get people away from liberalism and towards more strongman government. No, authoritarian is just. But I've noticed something. When people say authoritarian, what they just mean is there's not someone to check the person in power. That's all that really means. Yeah. If you talk to them about like what can the government actually do, as what is good and bad policy, that conversation is not even had.
Yeah.
So whenever I talk to these people, like, can you actually what tells me like what is objectively bad government? Like, can you describe it to me? Like, yes, no. Can you conceptualize that literally anyone can do that and not just one person? Like, yeah, like, you see where I'm going with this? That it's not just one person doing bad things; it's a whole bunch. I'm like, oh yeah, like yeah. So there you go. People. So like, authoritarian is like in our parlance, it just means a lack of checks and balances. That's literally all it means. No one talks about what the government can actually do that is objectively good and bad, because no one has any fucking clue what the hell statecraft actually looks like, which is not a surprise because no one fucking knows anything about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you have that.
Average voter doesn't know shit.
But the checks and balances don't the checks and balances don't stop the fucking ANC from stealing, the ANC from not performing. It's like, okay, cool. So how is it fucking any different?
Somebody else needs to come in and like whip them, metaphorically speaking. Anyway. I mean, I have seen like other parts of Africa where they literally take the government officials time to a tree and like whip them. I'm like, that's like some like cool mob shit.
But that's the thing. I've made this argument before, like a few times now. I'm going like, bro, if the people were just a little bit smarter, right? They did this thing. It was last year somewhere where there's a little town up in Pretoria somewhere where the fucking the small little village, they found out, not a village, like a small little like township or something. There was a whole bunch of like 3 or 4 dudes stealing. Right? Cell phones, bullshit, bro. And eventually the community just got fucking, they were like, listen, we're fucking over this now. They fucking tie and necklace them. This is petty theft. if imagine the people just actually realized what the government was doing and how they were stealing, they would be burnt outside, I don't know, like years ago already. Like they would be fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. But that takes a certain amount of willpower and the recognition of what competent government might actually look like. It just kind of annoys me because if I just look at South Africa's landscape and just land the weather, food-wise, like there is no reason why South Africa couldn't be like one of the best countries in the world. Like we have all of the ingredients except for the crime. Easily.
But this is the thing. We were. This is how it was. I mean, like, and this is what some of the people go, apartheid was terrible. And I was like, I'm going, yeah, I hear you. Yes, segregation bad, blah, 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 the whole fucking shit. But the thing was, I think who made this argument was, I remember Stefan Molyneux did a thing with someone, and they were talking about something like 600, 700,000 people from Africa were immigrating to Africa every fucking year during the height of apartheid. I'm going like, doesn't sound that fucking bad. Why are you immigrating to the worst place in the world? But because there was, even though there was it was just segregation. They had free healthcare, they had fucking jobs, all this stuff. And I'm going like, okay.
One person's oppression is another person's standards.
No, but that's the thing. Brilliant fucking argument again. God.
Yeah. Because you will notice, like, I've noticed that some people say, I'm oppressed. I'm like, no, bitch, that just means they're high quality and you aren't.
Yeah.
Welcome to the reality of genetics. Not everyone can aspire to be Elon Musk. That's just an ugly part of human nature. Yeah,
that is just human nature.
Yes. Yeah, you can't make an idiot out of a genius, or a genius out of an idiot. That's
no, you can't. It's like, and the thing is, just like you need to just sometimes accept this. Like someone in the wild is, some people are going to grow up to be janitors, and some people are going to grow up. And this is the thing. Like farming is not a fucking. Like this is the thing. Like farming is a shitty fucking job. It's hardcore graft all day long. It's like, oh, like everybody just wants the fucking land. No one wants the land to fucking farm it. They want the land so they can sell it and have money. It's like just fucking win the lottery. It's like wishing if I win the lottery. That's what it is. It's
but some people do like the farming.
Yeah. So,
I imagine the farmers that have done it for generations have a certain joy of toiling.
No, they do. But it's hardcore. I mean,
it's hard work. Yeah.
It's fucking hard work, and it's not like a normal business. It's like you plan 3-4 like family of ours have like a wine farm, bro. It's like 3 years, 4 years, you're like 6 million in debt or 4 million in debt at a time.
It's a risky business.
This 1 year you have a bad harvest, you're fucked. You know, like I don't know where I'm gonna fucking pay. And then you have people go, they got a farm, they're rich. It's like, no, bro, those are in debt like a motherfucker.
Yeah, some of them are wealthy.
No, I mean, like, but again, that's the same
ones that have been there
with,
for like multi generations that are like have learned to deal with the shortcomings and the hard times. Like,
it's like
they're rich now, but they were like There's a couple of them that are really wealthy, but I can guarantee you that if you look at their history, it wasn't just all smooth sailing. There was a couple of rough fucking years they had to go through to
exactly.
Good farmers are good for a fucking reason. It wasn't just because it was smooth sailing for 20 fucking years.
No, of course. And then also you have the same thing that happens. You've got one kid is a fuck up, and then there goes the farm. Bye, generational gone. You know. Yeah.
Whereas in the old days you had multiple farm hands to deal with the farm.
Yeah.
Nowadays you have machineries to sort of do that instead. And then you leave them to people who have no idea how fucking machines work. Yeah. And then you get Zimbabwe.
Okay,
and then you get the guy going, can we please have all the white people back? Like, no, they're all sitting in Zambia because for some bizarre reason, the Zambian government's smart enough to go, hey, look, here's people that can use our land. And then, oh, shit, come back. Like, no, motherfucker, why? We have our resources over here. And also, fuck you, because you're an asshole. Get your own fucking breadbasket. We have our one here.
Okay, well, on that note, Spoon, thank you so much. I'm just going to end the show. I want to say thanks to everybody that was here, everybody that fucking, I think a lot of these people are from your channel. Thank you so much for popping in. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, and Spoon, hang on for 1 second. I'll just do the outro. Thanks so much. And then anybody watching Monday night, we're just doing a chilled stream. Come hang out and talk a bit of shit to us. You guys are all fucking awesome. Thank you so much, Spoon. You're fucking legend, dude. Love your content. You're amazing.
Solid. You're welcome.
Cheers, everyone.